watching opposition.
Get there.
Yeah, you already at 20. Yep, you at 29. 38. Yeah, we good.
I'll
Yeah,
bet.
we all right.
Bet.
Cool.
LaRue's room, y'all. What's up? What we doing tonight? We talking boxing? We got GT back in the building.
GT.
What up? Thanks for
What's up,
having me.
GT?
It's always a pleasure.
As always.
Hey, bro, we about to have a good ass night, man.
There was a lot of not boxing going on this weekend.
Before we get
Yeah. We'll get there.
there, GT, we need
Yo,
some wisdom on this Monday night, bro. What you got for us tonight?
some wisdom. Oh man.
Latex.
Some wisdom. What'd you say?
He said latex.
Latex.
Yo, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, make sure y'all strap up out there, young world. When you make a bad decision with a bad person, you'll end up with a bad life.
Facts.
Permanent decision.
Yeah, permanent for sure. But some wisdom, man. I would just say I'm a super positive person, man. So I gotta just say that people need to remain positive in all aspects of their lives, no matter what's going on. You know, life is a roller coaster, so it's gonna be up sometimes, it's gonna be down, sometimes it's gonna be a straight shot. So just remain positive on every part. You know, when you're coming down that hill, when you're going up,
Facts.
and when you coasting straight, because some people get real depressed. Some people hit real hard lows, and if you are the opposite of positive and meaning negative, you may do some things that may cost you your life, literally. You know, your own life. You may even take your own life. You know, God forbid. But
Yeah.
so even when you're low, be positive so that you are doing positive things, so that you're trying to get back up the hill of the roller coaster. And I just had a talk with somebody, and I had to just let them know, like, some people, even the strongest people that we look at. Matter of fact, it was about Deion Sanders. He said in Cincinnati, I believe it was, that he had thought about killing himself, and he
Yeah,
I heard that.
yeah.
tried to. He ran off the road or whatever, and a lot of people wouldn't even had expected that of Deion Sanders being so high up and great at two sports and got all the
Yeah.
money and the fame and the girls and the clout back. It wasn't clout back then, but just popular, and he was in music. He had everything. He had his own shoe, and so people would never would even thought that somebody with all those things would even consider something so harsh. And I think that's because, like I said, when we're low, we have to try to remain positive. And because when you're low and you're being negative and you're around negative people and eating negative foods and listening to negative music and watching negative TV and surround yourself with negative people and in negative places, it ain't gonna do nothing but it'll result in what Deion did. But if you're keeping a tight circle like y'all three, how y'all keeping each other tight and straight, you keeping positive people around you, eating right, you drinking right, you know what I'm saying, you staying away from liquor, all the bad stuff and drugs. When you're doing all these things, you like consuming good positive music. Not the Glorilla, but the Frankie Beverly and Mays and Sade every
Yeah.
now and then. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. No
when you're
no
doing
loose women.
when you're consuming the
No loose women.
positivity and you staying positive on a high frequency, even though you low. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't think these thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You'll
Yeah.
be thinking
Yeah.
about when you're gonna be up. You know what I'm saying? You think about the up instead of the down. So just remain
Yeah.
positive throughout everything. That'll be my wisdom for the day. Just remain positive through all parts of life, no matter if it's up, down, or in between.
Yeah,
We
you got to
love
keep your
it. We love
people.
it.
You got to
Straight
keep
like
your
that.
people in mind too, because they're not always
Yeah.
going to show you those outward signs that
Yeah.
they're feeling that type of way.
Yeah.
So
And everyone's version of down is different. And, some people think that just because people have stuff that they can't be down because they think, that's their version of up.
yep,
So,
It's the happiest
it's,
people in the room, man. Sometimes they might be the lowest. So
Yep. Yep.
definitely treat everybody with respect, love,
why
and
you got to wrap it up, man.
facts.
big facts. Trojan, if you see this, bro, let us know what you can do for us. Q, what's on the agenda tonight, bro? I know we got a lot of boxing. What we starting out with?
Yeah, we're gonna start off with that Friday card, man. We'll start off with the Ryan Garcia and the Rolly Romero.
Now let's go. Let's go to the start. Let's go with
Tio.
Teofimo.
Okay, all right, let's go. Tio and Arnold.
Yep, Tio and
Uh,
Arnold. Then we'll go up from there.
all
Tio
right.
and Arnold. What was y'all thoughts? GT, you go first, bro.
Tio Arnold. first, let me say this. I was a huge fan of Tio, man. Like a huge fan. I love what he brought to the sport. He
Hmm.
different. He tries to do innovative things, action packed. He's fun in the ring. He's good enough to get the win and also do amazing things. But I stopped being a fan after he said that monkey stuff
Yeah.
to Tank and Crawford.
Oh yeah.
When you say stuff like that, you're not
Shows
just
their
saying it to the two people that you're talking about. You're talking about the people
group.
behind them
Yeah,
too.
group of
Their
people.
whole all
Yeah.
their ancestors, their us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I know he came out and apologized for it to them. You know what I'm saying? But it's still millions of people or billions of us around the world who were negatively impacted by that. I didn't like that. So,
Hmm.
while I liked the way he performed, it was a good fight. I think it was actually the best fight of the night on that card. Um,
Yeah.
but
Definitely.
it's hard for me to praise him. You know what I'm saying? Because of that monkey stuff. So,
I
Yeah,
get that.
but
yeah.
so
Yeah.
but minus the person, just speaking on the fighter, the fight. He
Art
did
and artist.
he did a great job. You know what I'm saying? If I had to separate the two and just speak on T.O.'s performance, he did a great job. I heard Tim Bradley complaining about him, saying that he could have did more, but you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Everybody can do more. It was Michael Jordan could have did more, and some of those games
Right.
he had 60.
For sure.
So
For
so
sure.
I'm not about to be. That sounds like some hate shit to me. So yeah, he
Yeah.
did enough.
You know, he left
He
top
had a
rank,
great fight.
so
Right.
he
Hmm.
left top rank, and Tim Bradley's still top rank. So I feel like
Oh yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
might have still could have been a little slight there because
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, they do that a lot. They do that a lot over there on that side.
Big facts.
When you leave, even when you're about to leave, they start slighting you.
Hmm.
hmm.
Shout out to
Yep,
Shakur.
that's when they started for sure. That's when they started. That's when you stop getting the coverage on social media, all that. They just let me start
Yeah.
curving them.
Hey,
Yeah,
me personally, bro, I know Tio wants to. Obviously, great performance. I thought again, like you said, GT probably one of the better performances. Just out of that whole card, for that night. But
Yeah.
for me personally, bro, like I think this whole Boot situation, you gotta leave him alone because I don't see Boot's not gonna play with you. Boot's not gonna play with you, bro. Like it.
But To rises when it's time to rise.
I think Boots will too. We still ain't seen the best of him.
I used to
Hey,
go to the. I used to go to the national tournaments where all of them ran the Devins, the Shakurs,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Ryans, the Africas, the Boots. You know what I'm saying? I was
yeah.
at some tournaments and uh so Boots and Tio, I would say that's a fight that we need to see. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It can go both ways. But I
I
would,
agree.
if I was betting, I would lean towards Boots, and because we seen T.O. in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We with what was it?
Cambosis.
Cambosis. Yeah, we seen him in trouble already, and if Cambosis can do it, Boots can do it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not the
The
same,
blueprint's out
but
there.
in a different
Yeah.
way. So yeah, I definitely would say go with Boots on that one. But it's definitely a
Yeah,
fight I would like to see. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
yeah.
I just,
I would say if we're making entertaining fights, let's make one of them.
hundred
Like you know
Oh
what I
yeah,
percent.
mean? Like
that'd
I
definitely be entertaining. That would it would be ain't no way that would be dual. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world that would be a
yeah,
dual fight.
100%.
100%.
Uh,
They two showmen. They two showmen. Both of them do the same thing.
That's we kind of need more of those. Is why I was like, we might
Yeah.
as well get down.
we
Yeah.
do. We do. Glass, what was
Yeah.
your take on the fight? Uh,
I thought we were gonna go a little more heavy with the entertainment with this card, but it just turned out boring.
It was entertainment. It was a clown show.
right.
Yeah.
But the Tio fight. My thoughts. I mean, just to echo the same sentiments. It was the best fight of the night. Just from, and I mean that's not saying much, but just from Tio's, I feel like in a sense he also wasn't pressing the gas, so it could be
Hmm.
entertaining. I feel like he probably could have got that dude out of there. Honestly, I think he could have got him out of there, but I think he kind of was playing with his food because I think he under. Well, I know he understands the entertainment aspect. He's one of
Hmm.
the boxers that actually embodies that, where they understand the entertainment aspect of it. And I think he was kind of dragging it out to at least make it entertaining.
I mean, it's kind of like
But
what me and you
he
said
did what he
too.
had to do.
Me and you kind of said the same
Yeah,
thing as far as making it entertaining being the third, or the first fight of the night,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah,
So,
yeah. He knew he had to set the tempo. I'm sure that was expressed to him
yeah.
by the powers that be, and it was like, hey. this got to be everybody's got to be entertaining, but you got to do your part
Yep.
essentially. So I
You
100%.
know
think that's
what?
kind of
Another thing, not to cut you off and step in
now you
again,
good.
but Tio also, I think some of the times he fights, he's I ain't gonna say he's so focused on showing off and doing things to make the crowd be like ooh that he
Yeah,
may miss stoppages because he's focused on the showing off stuff. So if he removes some of
yeah,
the showing off stuff, he'll get some stoppages. He'll have more what would be the word? More
dominant
dominant. He'll
fighting,
have more
dominant.
dominance. More dominance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And but he's trying to do two things. You know what I'm saying? When he's trying to do two things,
yeah.
the one's going somewhere gonna lack. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And I think that's what we kind of saw with that Josh Taylor fight where he dominated him when everybody wasn't expecting it after the Kambosos loss because it was like he knew he had to focus in. And if
Mm-hmm.
we could see more of that, T.O., I think that's when we would get. That's what I think we get for the Boots fight. I think
Yeah,
you just got
yeah,
to give him
I
a fight
agree.
to get him up.
I agree. I think he
So,
will come in 100% focused instead of
so
showing off about showing
for
off.
I
sure.
just think that
For
Yeah.
sure.
that
But
side.
we'll also get a boots that'll be 100% focused
Yeah,
too.
and that's the type of fight we need. A lot more of those type of fights where I know they both gonna be focused, and it ain't a question of who gonna show up.
That
Right.
size is so crazy though with Boots, man. He can rehydrate to 160.
160,
Pause. Yes.
160, 13 pounds. That's
Personally,
good.
I mean, he's already. I'm not gonna say he's struggling to make the weight at 147, but
I think
that's a
you
tough
know
order, bro, for
they
Tio.
might. I mean, Teal's the A side now, right? I'm assuming.
Ain't no way. Not. I mean,
Hell
Boots
no.
got three
You sh-
belts.
you sure?
Boots
I
got three
guess Boots
belts.
Yeah.
does have three belts. I guess, but Boots isn't too much of a household name though. I feel like Teal probably got a little bit more clout than
Yeah.
Boots does.
Yeah, he had he went up, he going up and down. You know what I'm saying? He was up there and then he came
That's
down.
true. That's true.
He
That's
on his
true.
way back up now. He like on the uppers. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. That's true.
So
it's close.
I see what you're
They
saying
ain't
though.
too far apart. They ain't too far apart in
nah.
the
Yeah,
eight
that's
pound.
why my point was going to be that he might just request that rehydration clause if he can.
But y'all know what though? T.O. probably rehydrate to 157, 158.
Yeah, that's true.
They
That's true.
they said he was on Porter Way. I was listening to Porter Way this morning. He said he was at 147 for the fight. He said he
Mm.
struggled to actually put on
He
more
knew he
weight.
didn't have to. He didn't really need. Yeah, but if you got some time, you know that's gonna happen. Uh, you gonna change your regimen up a little bit. I'm sure for this fight, he knew he didn't even have to be
He came in
any
147.
bigger.
He came in 147.
At the fight. Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
that's kind of like unbelievable. But maybe he just trained so hard. You know what I'm saying that and some people bodies don't go that big. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he take care of his body because he don't. I never seen him out
Yeah,
run wild and belligerent.
yeah, same.
Maybe he
He
do
seemed
take
pretty
care of
focused outside the ring, outside of the whole stuff with his girl. But you can't control that.
Facts.
Not all the
it.
time.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
I think I want to. I guess final thoughts. I want to see that Boots fight. I hope they can make that
Okay.
let's move on to
for
the
him.
next fight. Devin Haney.
Well, moving on. Yeah, the Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez. Why don't you start, Staples?
Hey, MG, you know what I'm about to say, bro.
It's probably what we all about to say.
Devin Haney will never be the same, bro. He'll never be the same.
I wasn't gonna say that.
I I'm I'm gonna say it. He'll never be the same. He took a lot of punishment. I He's no longer gonna be the A side, bro.
I
He's
don't want to say that.
I'm gonna say what y'all don't want to say because I
It's a hot
believe it.
take. It's a hot take.
It's not that he's got the skill, bro, but it's the mental. Can he get past the mental beating that he's taken and just not even been in the ring the last year? Can he get past that? Can he get back to what he was before? I don't think so.
I think a few fights will change that. I think a few fights will. He's still young, bro. I think a
He
few fights will change
he's
that.
very
How
young,
old
but
is
where
he?
do you go from here if you've already been to the
I want to
top?
say
You're
he's
under.
like, is he
He's
26?
26, but the point is, if you've been to the top and you are undisputed, where do you go from here, bro? What's somebody of that? They said he has a great resume. I don't believe so. I think he's got an okay resume. I think Tanks is much better, but he's been undisputed. He was one of the youngest undisputeds. So where do you go from here if you're Devin Haney and his team?
Back to undisputed. Go up a weight class and clean it up.
Okay, but you got to go see
Try
Boots
to.
then.
Yeah, I don't think you
No,
need to see Boots right now.
I
Boots
can't
gonna
say.
probably move up by
I
the
don't
time
think.
he get there.
What's
I
that,
don't. I
GT?
don't think you can go after chasing to become undisputed again. And I say that
Yeah,
because his chin isn't gonna hold up to it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that has a
that's
lot to
fair.
do. It has a lot to do with him killing himself to make those lighter weights,
Yeah,
and we've seen the result of that in the Ryan Garcia loss.
Yeah.
That had a lot to
yep,
do with that wasn't just Ryan's power or the Austrian. A lot of that was weight bullying and killing yourself.
yeah,
And we seen the way he looked. When he looked at 140 coming to the scales and
for
he
sure.
was. And I don't know if y'all know, but I know weight. I've been around the sport so long. It's been 30 some years. I don't know
Yeah,
how it's better be 30 some years. It is 30 some years, 32 maybe. But
mm,
I know what people look like when they not on the scale, when they walking around, got their jeans and stuff on. I can tell
yeah.
you. So Devin be looking like he be 210 almost. And
Damn.
that might sound unbelievable to some people, but he be looking like he's 210 pounds when he's in the off season. And to
Damn.
come down 60 to 70 pounds,
That's a
you know what I'm
lot.
saying, back to 140, like that's a
That's hard
lot,
on the
man.
body.
And
That's a
it's
lot.
mostly hard on the chin and the legs. You know what I'm saying? The legs are connected to the chin, man, and that's
Yeah,
why they go when you get hit on the chin. That's why your legs be all going all noodly and all that. And
yeah, yeah,
so all however many fights he had, and he's been about this weight since I used to go watch him in the amateurs. This like
yeah.
what this 12 years ago. So
I was about
to
to say, yeah,
to
that's
keep
that had to be
yeah,
some time.
he should have been growing and going. Like when you grow and so when you growing so much, man, it's time to move up. I think he's supposed to have
Yeah,
been 154 by now. He's supposed to have been 154 pound by now.
GT, I was just going to
he's
ask you.
stunning his own growth.
I was
He's
just
stunning
going
his
to
own
ask
growth.
y'all. Like, I thought he should have been 147 4 years
Long
ago. Like
time
when he
ago.
when he
Yeah,
when he fought. Probably even before
Loma.
Lomachenko, bro. Before that, his weigh-ins, he looks sick every time.
Yeah, you don't be looking
Yeah,
good.
Like,
that's why. Yeah, that's why everybody was calling him the weight bully because he would balloon up like when he fought Prograis. It was like, damn, it was
to
he
165.
he ballooned. Yeah,
165.
and I
so,
don't mean to like get back on the Boots subject, but I fear Boots is gonna stay at 147 too long. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But we can stay on
I
kind of
think
the Devin
that
Haney
I think
train.
it's because of the I think it's because of where the competition is at,
Yeah,
and I think and I think that's kind of how he's gonna stay. I think that's what happened with Devin Haney too. I think he felt he had the advantage at those lower weight classes, so he was like, I don't even want to mess with it
I blame
until
blame that on his team.
He's more
yeah,
experienced.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. They didn't even he just wanted to yeah,
Well, talk to me,
in a
man.
bad way. But
Talk,
that's definitely a good point though, GT.
yeah. Talk to me
As
though.
far
Like,
as far as Devin performance, a lot of people were talking about he was moving too much and he looked scared and worried and punch shy and all that stuff. And for me, I'm gonna say this: no matter he had a huge fight he was looking at for the Ryan Garcia rematch, and I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
the Turk guy, what's his name? Is it
yeah.
Turkey or Turk?
Turkey out of
Turkey,
she.
turkey out of
Turkey.
sheep.
Okay, so the Turkey guy, I'm pretty sure promised them some retirement money, enough to be able to where they won't have to ever fight again, if they do right with the
Mm.
money. So
Yeah,
the objective would, and me also, if I was the coach, manager, whatever, if I was on the team, I would say, win this fight, no matter how you need to win this fight, because we got to get
yeah,
to that. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Not just for you, but for us
Right.
too. You know what I'm saying? Because
hundred
if you
Right.
percent.
making retirement money, it ain't the same. If we only getting 10%, whatever, but we got to split ten
Yeah,
percent is 10% of some retirement money. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
for
we just
sure.
need 90 more percent, 9 more of these fights in our coaching career or whatever, cutman career, whatever it is, to
Yeah,
be able to retire. So we want to get to this fight. So win, how you gonna win? But I think that he was moving a little too fast. The movement is cool, but he was moving a little too fast. His facial expressions looked like he was nervous. He
anxious.
was yeah, it looked nervous. Like so you can kind of like read energy. Like and if
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like when you're in the ring or you're in the corner, you can like tell if someone's we can't use the
anxious.
word scared, but like nervous. Like
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah,
to get touched. I'm worried about getting hit. You know what I'm saying?
cautious,
Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Real
it's
cautious.
more than cautious because you everybody should be cautious in there. You know what I'm saying? But
For sure.
but when you're like overcautious, it turns into like a almost like a fear or a
Yeah.
scare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anxiety.
Tennis.
matter of fact, I'm gonna say that it looked scared. He looked like he was scared,
Tennis.
and I can't speak for him. I can't say that he was, but it looked as if he was. And
Yeah,
so
perception's
for
reality,
me,
especially in that ring.
yeah, so for me, if he would have just slowed down his movement just a little bit, because it was just
Yeah.
a little too fast, and then he was doing it a little too much. He was doing more lateral movements than
Mm.
getting in his stance and putting his foot towards his opponent. You know what I'm saying? So, I, his performance, I like a win. I like a win. If you're gonna win, win. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Yeah,
he should
yeah,
have settled down a little more. He didn't really exchange too much, and I think that comes from what happened in the last fight with Ryan. And also, I don't. It must have been it might have been. I can say must. It might have been a rough training camp for him. So he like meaning like
yeah.
he could have got dropped a few times, or dropped one time, or knocked out one time, or knocked down one couple
Right,
times.
right.
Where it's like, oh man, my chin isn't the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, his
And
confidence
that's
didn't
what it
come
looked
back
like.
fully.
He looked
Yeah,
unsure of his chin. He looked unsure of his defensive capability, his like ability
Ability to take.
to endure punches
Yeah.
and
punishment.
pain.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, and Ramirez, I was disappointed in him. I thought he
Me
would
too.
put up a better fight.
Me too.
Um,
yeah, for sure.
Cut the
He
ring
looked
he
like
off.
check collector. He looked
didn't
like he was
try
check
hard enough.
collecting.
I'm sure his coaches were upset with his performance, but they lived to fight another day, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't too happy with that fight, man. I was a huge Devin fan too. You know, even in
same.
the Ryan fight. Not to go back to the Ryan fight, but Devin showed tremendous heart. He
Yeah,
was winning most of the fight, in my
He
opinion. You
was.
know
he
what I'm
Yeah.
he
saying?
won. He won every round. In my opinion, he won every round. He didn't get knocked out in.
Right. So for him to go from that, and everything he did prior to that Ryan fight, and everything good he did and great he did in that Ryan fight, to go to this, it was a real letdown as a
Yeah,
huge Devin Haney fan, for sure.
yeah.
How, GT, how much time would you have taken off after that Ryan Garcia fight if you were Devin Haney?
Um. Well, he definitely needed time away from the gym because of concussions and
Mm-hmm.
CTE and all that stuff. So if I
Yeah.
was a trainer, I would have let him in the gym. I would have made him just chill and relax, not even no running for maybe 90 days, and then he
Mm.
would have ease back into some running, ease back into the gym. But I would have let him spar for about 5 months straight, maybe 4 to 5 months. But
Yeah.
as far as fighting goes, he should have took about um maybe about like 8 months. But I would have came back with an easy win. I wouldn't have came back into no Jose Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? I'd have came back into
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have eased my.
Yeah.
You got to
You
ease your.
gotta
You
build
got
your
to ease yourself
confidence.
back in. A lot of people do
Over
stuff
the
like they
hill.
rush things. Like I believe in doing things gradually. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
not to go off topic, but when I trained AB and he was on a long
Yeah.
layoff and he had lost to Pacquiao. I think it was 2 years in between the
Sure
Pacquiao
was.
fight and the fight where I trained him. He wanted to run 5 miles the very first day we started training. I'm like, hell nah. And I started him at half. I started him at half a mile. Like you got to gradually build so that you don't.
Right.
When you rush, you mess stuff up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you get
Yeah.
injuries. You can get discouraged yourself from going back out there tomorrow or the next day. So
Mm-hmm.
life is about balance and gradual, like taking things gradual. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah.
rush certain things because you can mess it up forever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. So I would, yeah, he definitely should have took some time and then ease back into it with a decent opponent. And Jose Ramirez was too rough because too tough of an opponent because look how he looked. You know what I'm saying? Look how Devin
Yeah.
looked. I
Yeah.
mean, look how Devin looked in the facial expressions, his
Yep.
movement, his trust in his own
I was gonna
abilities.
say, not to cut you off, but maybe that could have contributed to Jose Ramirez's bad performance. He seen him jumping around like that in the ring. It was hard to catch a rhythm.
Maybe.
But I mean, you
Yeah.
should capitalize off of that. If you see someone that you think looks nervous, you should probably be able to
Yeah.
capitalize off that as a fighter.
Facts.
So
But
it's
you know
almost
what?
like,
And before we move on to any somebody else's opinion on this fight,
yeah,
Ramirez, that the way Devin also looked, it could also be that they heard something was wrong with Ramirez, like he's something in the leg, like an injury, knees, ankle,
yeah, yeah,
hip,
Mm-hmm.
to where they're like, oh, we got if we move, or they could have got a tip from a sparring partner or something. Like if we
Yeah.
move
yeah,
on him, it's gonna be easier to beat him because he's too slow. He's something's going on with his knee, something's going on, whatever.
It's a good
He had to
call.
get a
Yeah.
surgery.
I
So
didn't even think
that
about
could
that.
be another possibility. That's what I was thinking, like
yeah,
because he he just wasn't in there doing anything. You know, a Mexican style, like, man, you got to like that's what you used to fight, guys that move and run, black guys that
Hmm.
move and run from you. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
always grew up on, was the African American versus the Mexican, and that's the
yeah.
style. That's the style you had to go up against. So
Right.
for me to see Ramirez not be able to cut the ring off and to to have more success in there, it was
Hmm.
weird for me. So I'm trying to think of weird things that could have happened in either Devin camp or his camp that could have caused
Yeah,
this that performance for Ramirez for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. Because it definitely should have been a closer fight, given the way Devin was
I
performing.
agree.
Yeah,
It
for
should have been a closer
sure, for
fight.
sure,
I
for
agree.
sure.
And
Devin
you,
should, matter of fact,
That's
the way Devin fought, he's supposed to have lost that fight. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Against a
yeah.
Mexican style like Ramirez,
Oh,
like
100%.
because he didn't throw enough punches, he didn't try enough. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The Mexicans, they tried too much, so it should have been a totally different
Yeah, his
result.
output should have been got him to win alone, or at least made Devin have to actually try in the later rounds where he'd have to face that fear. But he didn't have
Hmm.
to because the output on both sides was just off. It was just an
non-existent.
Null
off
and
fight.
void.
It was an off fight. Like it seemed like both of them were just off. It didn't even like they knew before. I ain't gonna say nothing about the collusion aspect of boxing, but it was just like, all right, Devin, you're gonna win this one.
Yeah,
Regardless.
no,
Uh,
no, that too.
just don't
We
get
got to
knocked
say we
out.
got to no, we got to say that. We got to say that
Yeah,
because that could be a possibility too. Because it kind of looked as scripted when you got a
that's what
fighter
I was
that didn't
saying.
when you got a fighter that don't try enough. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And this is a huge opportunity, and this is and you fight on a card where this guy that's promoting the card pays crazy. You're like, if I win this
Mm-hmm.
fight, I'm gonna get paid even crazier in the next one, and then
100%.
after then
Yep.
that's gonna give me another fight after that. So for him to
Yep.
not try something, so we gotta mention that too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep it real.
Could have been, and that same person that paid him to try hard could have, or that if he would have tried hard, could have paid him to not try hard.
Right.
Exactly.
That shit
That's a
happen in
possibility.
boxing all the time, bro. I feel like.
Possibility, and then we got to think about the gambling. This is a whole bunch
Hmm.
Oh
factors
yeah,
that go into these fights nowadays. You know what I'm
these
saying?
decisions.
Facts.
It's
Yeah,
so much money running through it. It's
Yeah,
just
so much, man. It's always been
yeah,
like that, but now I feel like we've been shown that it has a whole
yeah.
lot more prominence in the sport than we
And
could
it's
even
quote
imagine.
unquote legal, more legal now.
Yeah,
So that there's a lot
yeah.
more money exchanging hands as a result, and it's more widely available. Before you had to just go, you could only do it in Vegas.
Facts.
yeah.
You
Now
could
you can do it
do it
anywhere.
from your
Yep,
house.
yep.
You
Well,
could be on the road doing it. So hey.
hey,
That's why they stopped doing the college props in Ohio because kids were getting death threats.
I miss
It
it.
was
No,
like, hey,
I miss it. Y'all getting paid to play now. Let that shit back in the game.
Right.
Ryan
hey,
Garcia and Rolly Romero.
Yes.
What happened, y'all?
MG, you first.
What happened?
in the same vein of Devin Haney, man, it looked like Ryan got well. His was a little different. Ryan got hit early,
He
and he
got knocked
looked
down. Yeah.
he immediately looked like he didn't want to fight anymore
He
the
ain't
rest
want
of the
no
fight.
more, bro.
Mm-mm. He felt
Immediately,
that little bit of power, and he was like,
Hey,
and then
let me be a little more cautious.
Tank tried to tell y'all, bro, that power real from Rolly. It's real.
it was crazy, man.
Yeah, he
And
did
it
it.
is, it really is. He's a natural puncher, so it is what they say it is. Let's put it like that.
He was going for some big shots, and I feel like Ryan had some opportunities for some counters, but
Yeah,
he
but
just never took them because he didn't want to leave himself open for a big
yeah,
shot.
but
Yeah.
it's even deeper than that, bro. Like if
Hmm.
that's like me and GT sparring, and then like GT keeps getting the better of me every time we spar, and then we fight years later. I'm thinking about that shit. I'm thinking about the shit that you've done to me before. I'm thinking about the past trauma. So like,
right, right.
it's deeper
Yeah,
than
yeah, yeah, for
it's
sure.
deeper than all that, man. It's tough. It's tough. So hey, I'm not a fighter. I ain't been in the ring, but hey, what you think,
Hey,
GT?
yep. Uh,
What you think?
Anything GT on the Ryan
Oh,
Garcia fight?
I I don't know if y'all seen it, but on my story I have before the fight had started, I posted Rolly will shock the masses tonight,
I seen that.
mm.
and that's the I don't know how much of a favorite. Anybody know how much of a favorite round was on that?
Like plus,
It was like
right.
plus. It ended up being plus 900. I think. I
Yeah,
think it was plus 900.
it was
All right,
crazy.
so most people expected Ryan to win, then and you know the especially the diehard boxing fans, as well as
Yeah.
the casual fans. So the world thought Ryan was going to win the fight easily, or maybe even by knockout. Probably thought he was going to knock him out with the
By
hook.
stoppage.
So
Yep.
what made me say this was after I watched the first like the undercard and the first fights that came on, I was like, and I said this before they when they announced that there was going to be a fight at Madison Square Garden. I mean, not Madison Square, but in Times Square. I was like, it's gonna be dope where the ring is gonna be, but there's I've been in New York plenty of times. Like, where are they gonna put the fans at? And I was
Right.
like, are they gonna stack
Yeah.
them up tall? Are they gonna put people in skyscrapers? Look out the window. Like, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna feel like a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna feel
Right.
weird. So then when I'm watching the fight, I'm like, this looks like this feels like almost like a sparring event. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Mm-hmm.
it did
And I was
seem a
like,
little empty.
then I was like, this is gonna for Rolly. This is gonna feel like the doghouse at the Mayweather gym again. This is gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel like they're gonna that he's sparring Ryan. It was so
Yeah.
quiet in there. Yeah, watch the other fights and you think about all the fights. You put them all together and y'all think about
Yep.
this. Everybody in there sparred that night. Nobody fought. Not even
You
Tio.
know what?
Not even Tio.
Just
Everybody
a
sparred that
quick
night.
a quick cut up. Me and Staples brought that up when we recorded last week right before the fights, and we said that atmosphere is going to determine a lot of how people can actually show up on it because it's not normal. Your brain isn't trained
Hmm.
for fight night like that to be in that type of atmosphere. People are creatures of habit. So if you in like you were saying something that feels like a sparring match, how serious are you going to take it?
That was terrible for
So.
boxing too, by the way. Just let me add that on. I hated that whole venue. Never, don't do that ever again, please, please.
I applaud them for trying something different because I do like when people try to push the boundaries,
Hmm.
but it was a swing and a miss. I'll say that as far as like, well, the fights itself also probably contributed to that. But remember, people were fighting during COVID in a bubble essentially in Vegas, so
You still in the arena though,
people
And
with no fans.
AB fought the fight I trained him in versus
Santiago.
Santiago in the bubble, and there was
Yeah,
nobody, not one fan in the crowd. And this, the
That's
yeah,
judges,
crazy.
commentator, three commentators,
yeah,
referee, and corners. That's it. So under 20 people when there's usually 20,000
Mm-hmm.
and some,
Right.
and
yeah,
you get a different result. You get a different performance. And because I'm pretty sure that AB would have got him out of there had we had some people in the crowd. Even though I was telling
yeah,
him green light, when it got to the point where it was time to stop, dude, I said green light, and he didn't do it, and I was like, oh, maybe it's the bubble thing, but glad we got the win. But
yeah, yeah.
back to the Ryan, the Ryan and the Rolly. So that was the reason why I ultimately predicted that Rolly was gonna get the win and shock the masses
Uh,
because it was gonna be like with however many rounds they did, it was just going to be a continuation of the sparring session for me, and
mm,
that's actually what it ended up being. In it, and the punches that he knocked Ryan down it was something that he did in a sparring session at the Mayweather gym, and so it was like it happened exactly how I envisioned it. But for me, the fight, Ryan. I don't think that the knockdown like scared him from trying or like he was scared to get hit or something like that. It looked like something deeper to me that was happening with Ryan because um,
hmm
he was all the way there. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Hmm.
look at the fighter's eyes, I read the body language. He was all the
Yeah,
way there, meaning mentally, meaning um, he was there. He was listening to his coaches. He was zoning off. He was eye to eye to Derrick James, and he was
yeah,
trying certain things in the ring, but
Hmm.
he was not trying a lot of more things in the ring. Meaning he was holding
right.
back. He was more inactive than he was active.
Yeah.
But when he
Kind of
was
stuck to
letting his
that
hands go,
jab.
it would work. Even though some of those punches was back in the head, or they were like almost like I wouldn't call them cheap shots, but he was taking advantage of being in the inside
Yeah.
prior to breaks, prior to referee saying
Yeah,
anything and he was landing some good hard shots. And if he would have just kept on doing it, he could have ended up stopping Rolly. I believe, so I seen where he could have stopped Rolly, but I don't know if he
yeah,
did, or I don't know if he wasn't allowed to. That's what I'm about to say. That he looked as if something was going on in his life, not knowing none of this, like your girlfriend cheating on you, or you stressed
yeah,
out, or your mom died, or nothing
Hmm.
like that. It looked more like um, and I don't want to be on no conspiracy shit, but it just looked like something was going on to where he wasn't able to let his hands go. Because Derrick James was telling him how he would. I don't think
Yeah, I heard the
I don't
corner.
think
I
Derek
heard
was
the corner.
urgent enough to tell him. He wasn't like he didn't have enough urgency, in my opinion, when he was
Yeah.
Yeah,
talking to Ryan. Like, cause sometimes you gotta, if the words ain't getting through, you gotta change the tone, you gotta change the energy. And
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
even slap
Slap in their
Ryan.
face.
I would have slapped Ryan on his chest, like, yo, do you fucking hear me? The last 3 rounds, I told you it's time to step up. Do
Yeah,
you want me? So, but that never
Wake up.
happened.
yeah,
It was kind of like it kind of stayed the same. Like, yo, you gonna do this? Do this? So to me, it seemed like um something there was weird that we
yeah,
won't ever get the we maybe it'd take 20, 30 years for Ryan to confess why he
Yeah.
didn't really fight this fight.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
heard that he was crying after the
He
fight.
Yeah, I
was.
saw
He
that. I
was.
saw
Who was
that.
Yeah,
I saw
crying?
that. Ryan
yeah.
was.
And that's typical for us fighters. We wanna be flawless victories. But
Yeah,
the way he performed, man, it should have been some tears before he even left the ring, man. Before they even interviewed him, it should have been hard to even talk. It should have been hard to
yeah.
even that. It should have been hard to hug him, hard to give him his credit. It should have been hard to do a post
Right,
fight interview. But
Especially
right.
he
after
was
he.
able to. So it seemed like something else bigger was going on in Ryan's mind. Besides any stress or trouble, it was something going on to where he couldn't pull the trigger, or he wasn't
Right,
allowed
right.
to pull the trigger.
Hey, we talked about it with the Devin fight. Could be the same shit with this one, man.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been
Never
on a
know.
greater scale.
It
You
could be,
never
bro.
know, man.
Like,
Yeah,
Definitely.
we basically making excuses because they deserve excuses. Like there was no way in hell those fights supposed to go like that, man. So we gotta
Nah.
assume that it was some shady shit going on. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's sad, bro, because I'm with you, GT.
oh,
And
hold on. So that's leaving the arena. Well, it wasn't the arena; it was outside. But
yeah,
that's leaving the arena.
yeah,
yeah,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
he cried immediately. Okay, so I kind of take some of that back, but still, we have to
yeah,
make an excuse for these guys how they perform the way they perform, and we have to think like bigger than what we usually think. Like maybe he didn't spar enough, maybe he wasn't in shape. No, we got to go way past that because this is a huge stage and like supposed to have been the biggest fight card in maybe the
yeah,
next decade. You know what I'm saying?
GT.
But
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't know,
it didn't
bro.
amount to.
See, I'm not even trying to cut in. Like, I'm talking with y'all at this point, but like, it looked like he was training right. Like, it looked like Derek James had him throwing combinations in training. Like,
He didn't
everything.
throw one combination all night.
I know, but I'm saying leading up until that point, bro, everything that we've seen video wise, bro, he looked good. Like, he looked like he was focused, wasn't talking a whole lot of shit. Like, it just, bro, I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't.
He wasn't either. Look like, or maybe he was. Maybe he was expecting just that. But it seems like it seemed like if it wasn't like GT was saying, if he was all the way there and it wasn't the knockdown that had him, spooked.
Yeah.
It just sometimes you're a little. I guess I mean maybe he was just a little off from the pressure. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I'm siding with GT.
if he wins that fight, well, I mean, think about it long term, right? If he wins that fight, he got to face the real at that point. He has to face everything that he didn't have to face because essentially it's not real. If you go, he's going through the proceedings. It didn't get ruled a loss. It got ruled a no contest. People still think you want, you weren't on things. Things like, if you got to go back and actually face that rematch, maybe he really didn't want that rematch.
No, we can't say that because look how Devin looked. You know what I'm saying? Like that, if Devin wasn't, because Devin fought before Ryan, right?
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
Okay,
He was
true,
able to
so
true.
see that.
so let's say
But he
Devin
won
like
though.
performed. Let's say Devin performed like so beautifully. Then we could say that.
Yeah,
But
Facts.
that's true.
That
That's
Devin
true.
that we seen last night, or that
That's true.
Devin that
That's true.
the Devin that Ryan was watching in the locker room as he was preparing, he like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna stop him even easier next. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
he punch shy now. He moving too much. He unsure of himself. He insecure.
yeah,
He's worried
yeah,
about getting hit. He's scared. He's a changed fighter. He's a broken fighter. These are things that should
yeah.
have been going through Ryan's mind, and
After
especially his
that,
coach because he got a coach. He got a great coach in there. Shout out to Derek James.
yeah, yep,
That's
yep.
my boy. He one of the dopest, probably, and he may end up the dopest trainer ever in the history of the sport. He got that kind of potential.
Yes.
But
Yep.
he got that trainer in there, and he telling oh they should have been licking their lips like no
Yeah.
diddy like we killing him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying in the rematch. You know what I'm saying maybe 2
Yeah.
rounds most.
Right.
So we can't say that. I think I want to go back to the other Marcus saying that the mental part of knowing that of what happened in the gym. The times they
Yeah,
sparred. I
yeah,
think that might have been a huge part of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, yeah.
and mixed with some other stuff that we don't know. But
Facts.
I can't
I gotta,
I can't say that it was the worrying about the rematch at all because that's easy money. That what I'm saying.
I got a hypothetical.
Mhm.
If they wouldn't have both had quote unquote tune up fights and it was them fighting that night, from
Come
what we
on, we
saw, how do you think that would have went?
Well, going off of the way Ryan fought versus Rolly, of course styles make fights, but we if they two would have fought, that would have been the boringest fight we would have ever seen in our
Yeah,
life.
it would have been.
Would have been.
It
Yeah.
would
You know
have
what I'm
looked
saying?
like the Canelo fight the next night.
Yeah, exactly. It
We'll
would have
talk
looked
about
We're
just
gonna
that.
like
talk
that. It
Yeah.
would
about
have
that
looked
next.
just. It would
Yeah.
have been just like that. That's exactly what it would have been.
Last thing I'm gonna
Yeah,
say,
but
To be honest, yeah,
uh,
and styles and everything, it would have looked just.
it,
it looked just like that. But if 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 they were to have the
Tune
those
up.
tune-up fights and went straight into a fight and not basing it off of their performances this past weekend, I would have expected Ryan to get like an early knockout, man, early knockout. Just
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
and I don't know if y'all seen it, but Devin, the times he tried to throw real hard, like combinations like a right hand hook, he tried a couple times. He landed some decent shots, but his chin was way up in the air. They were
yeah,
really dangerous attempts too. They were like the kind of
yeah,
attempts you don't even try when you're in that situation coming back from being hurt and being knocked
yeah.
out and just finally coming back into a tune up or a get ready
Right,
fight. He wasn't supposed to
right.
attempt those shots. So he's making some bad decisions. And they should have stopped that in camp. Those shouldn't have been like some right
Yeah,
hand hooks. They're like I don't want to teach too much because this shit to be sold, not told. Because I'm
facts.
I'm
you're
a great
right for
coach.
sure.
Right.
But
I
but the
feel you.
combinations of right hand hooks are very dangerous when you end it with the hook and you trying to hurt the person because most people don't bring their right hands back up to protect themselves for the oncoming hooks from their opponent. So
Right.
that's when a lot of people get dropped. They drop each other. Sometimes you see two people knocked down at the
Happened
same
last
time.
Yeah,
And some,
night.
and
yeah,
sometimes you see a lot of people go down because they trying too hard to knock the other person out. So,
yeah.
to be honest, yeah, for real, Ryan would have stopped Devin early if they would have went right into a rematch.
Rematch.
He
Yeah,
stops
Yeah.
Devin Haney 10 out of 10 for me, but hey,
You guys think the rematch still happens?
I don't want to see it anymore.
yeah, it happens for sure. Yeah, it has to. It has to. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
they
no,
had
I
it
don't care. I
signed.
don't
They
care if
had
it
it in the
happens.
paperwork.
I
Yeah.
don't care if it happens in
I
an
think it had.
exhibition later on after they done with their career. It has to happen again. You know what I'm saying? It has
It
Mm-hmm.
to.
does. It does. It does. I bet
But
both
but
of
the
them are in the
Turk,
same
but
place right now.
and it's too much money for it not to happen. It's so, you know what I'm saying? So they get. It's
Yeah.
almost like um, I know the turkey guy was upset when it
Yeah.
happened like that because it's harder to build it now. You know what I'm saying? Like now
Yeah.
they gotta find another way, and it wouldn't have been
They're
with
gonna have to
no
find
real
another
fight.
fight I think they're gonna have to find another fight to attach to it. I don't think that fight alone is gonna
Is it?
sell as much as
Yeah.
they
Tank is
thought it was.
Tank
They're
is
gonna have to
Shakur.
Not after. Yeah. Not after this.
if Tank will get in the court
Hey, don't
I
do
guess
that.
the
Don't do that.
I mean if he want to I mean like in a sense where if he wants to get into that, like I don't think he really wants to deal with Turkey like that.
Nah,
Like
he
I don't
probably
think
don't. I don't blame him. To be honest with you, it's more about the
If those
so.
game.
guys, if those guys would have had great performances, like three, even if it was two of those fights would have had great performances, they could have matched up the other two fights. But now we kind of like don't want to see any of those guys. You know what I'm
Right.
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Fight
it's
each other.
rare
Not
that
necessarily
Fight.
they win.
like that.
We don't want to see them fight each other. I'm saying, like, but if they would have
Yeah.
had decent competitive fights, then we would have wanted to see all them guys back on the same card, but it'd been different matchups. But
Mm-hmm.
You
I,
imagine putting together a car like that, and it probably costs a shit ton of money to shut down Times Square. You go 0 for 3,
yeah, that
0
was
for 3,
That's a little disappointing.
0 for
Turkey,
3.
Turkey. If you
They shit
seeing
money
this,
though over there, so shout out to oil.
Turkey. If you
But
seeing this, now's your time to get out, big dog.
but not over three, not over three. We got to. I can't say over three. I got to say 1 for 3
One,
because
okay,
To.
1 for 3.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
I think
To
the
now
problem
now
was,
Barboza. If he would have been if it was if he would have did more, people would have been more excited with that fight. But Tio wouldn't allow
yeah,
him to, so we can't be
yeah,
mad at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
We can't be
That's
mad
true.
at that. We
That's
cannot
true.
forget.
I
Tio
don't.
didn't
That's
allow
that's
him to be in a fight.
GT. I
it's
don't
like
think Arnold
punishing them in
Barboza.
the same reason.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. You go
I was
ahead.
gonna say that's like punishing him for what Shakur does sometimes, where he does not let not not some of his later fights, but, when someone can't
Right.
get off because of how defensively sound you
Right.
are. So now it looks quote
Exactly.
unquote boring to the casual,
Right.
to the
But
casual.
I don't think Barboza
Right.
was even a threat. Like I didn't think he's a good fighter, right? But like he doesn't have like supreme skill. Like he doesn't have hand speed. He doesn't have a whole lot of power. Like none of that really would have gave any type of threat to Teo, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's my first time seeing him fight, to be honest. And
Yeah, same.
that ain't no like shade or anything. I just this is my first time catching him.
Yeah.
I'm kind of picky with my boxing eye. Like I like who I like, and of course
Yeah,
I like any fights. I can just be flipping through the channels if it's some boxing, though, even if it's old, I'll watch it. But I just
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
caught.
Same way,
I
same
just
way.
haven't caught a Barboza fight. You know what I'm saying? But in that fight, I didn't see enough that would make me like, ooh, I can't wait to watch him again. But I would. I'm gonna keep my eye open for him though because everybody was talking about him, and so I want to see what he'll do against somebody who isn't as good defensively as a Tio.
Yeah,
You said his name
somebody
is
that'll
Teo. It's pronounced Teo. His name pronounced Teo.
Teofimo. I thought it was
Teofimo.
Okay.
Teofimo.
Oh, okay.
Teofimo.
So I think I want to see him against someone that's gonna sit in front of him. Shit,
He.
put a Mexican on Mexican fight on without
All right.
probably.
Yeah, but
I want to see someone that's gonna stay in front of him.
he gonna have to slug, bro. He ain't. Hey, moving on. Canelo.
Isak Cruz.
Shit.
Oh yeah, that's
Esau
definitely.
putting him to sleep.
I want to see
Yeah.
it though.
Moving
We're
on.
moving on.
Yeah, we got Canelo.
Moving on to Canelo
William
versus
Scull.
Skull.
Canelo. Before we
What you
get to
got? What
Canelo,
you got, GT?
before we get to Canelo, I gotta say that the Badou Jack fight was a good fight. That was an entertaining
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I thought it was a draw. I thought it was a draw. I thought it was a draw.
I
I
think that was some
I
turkey
didn't
turkey
score it.
business.
I didn't
I
score.
think
I
it
was
was some
just
turkey
entertained.
business.
I don't even think it was turkey business, bro. But like, it's kind of like,
I mean, to
granted,
not make it a draw.
well, okay. Let me put it in perspective. AB is one of my favorite fighters, right? So like, it was like AB and Jesse Vargas. AB had way more
Mm.
eye-catching shots. Jesse Vargas was just a smidge more busier. Badou Jack had eye-catching shots. His opponent just busy. So like,
Yeah,
depending on what you like, it could have went either way. But a draw was best for me personally.
mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't
No, it
score it. I'm
was.
not sure.
I'm with you because I didn't start. What happens with me sometimes when I don't score is if I don't catch it the first round on, I'm like, damn. So now I just watch it for the entertainment
Right.
value after that point.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened with me in that fight. I was a little busy, but so I didn't get to catch all 12 rounds of it. But it was definitely more entertaining than the main.
I
But
agree.
Badou Jack, he did more than I thought he was gonna do.
I
I
knew.
thought he was gonna be all right with it.
I figured he would win. Like I picked him to win. I put money on him. But I, I
Yeah,
mean, do y'all think he's over the hill, or do y'all think he's got a real shot to contend where he's at right now at light heavyweight?
I think they just need to keep this style of fighting where he just make him in entertaining fights. I don't think it sucks to say someone in the championship quality, but I
Yeah,
think just keep him in the entertaining fights.
I think he's over the hill, meaning like not like an old man, but he's like past his prime and
Mm-hmm.
coming
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
He's past his but he keep on surprising us. He keep on winning titles um and shocking people sometimes. So I think he's capable of it. I think he trains hard and he listens well, and so he's
hmm
gonna always be capable of doing something people weren't expecting to do, and have performances that people wasn't that didn't think that he still has in him. So
yeah,
but yeah, so he's over the hill in that manner that he's past his prime, and we can't be like, oh, he's gonna be undisputed and he's gonna move up to heavyweight and do
yeah.
this. Yeah, he's over the hill in that manner.
He might catch one of those vacant title fights and get
Maybe.
one like that.
Maybe.
yeah. He definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's gonna always be capable of that for sure. Because I
Yeah,
think he takes care of his body, his mind.
Mm-hmm.
He listens
hmm
well, trains hard. So he's gonna
yeah,
always put himself in a position to not to get lucky, but to be successful.
Hmm.
right. It's just if his body can keep up with his mind on certain things. I feel like
Right.
at when
Exactly.
in those like tougher fights, will his body still be able? He'll know what to do, but will his body let him get to that punch when he needs to get to that punch?
It gets tougher with
He
age.
started to fade a little bit in the fight and started to get hit with some bigger shots than I'm sure his coaches and himself wouldn't have liked to get hit
Yeah.
with. But, early on and in the mid fight, he was doing great to me, and
Hmm.
I was very impressed. So shout out to Badou. That's my boy too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Badou.
So Canelo, what happened? What y'all
The
think?
dance is
He didn't throw no
some
punch.
dancing. It's a dance battle.
Merry-go-round.
It was not a what do you want to call it? Running of the bulls.
My
It was it was
my thing is, what y'all expect from William Skull though? Like he's got the style. You know what I mean? Like obviously, I thought he's more skilled than that. But like
I was
realistically,
expecting him to throw more.
yeah. But when you watching him, bro, he kind of fights the way he fights. You know what I mean? Like it. I think it's bad matchmaking, if anything.
I was gonna say if you fight the way you fight, yes, that's
Horrible,
one thing. But
horrible match.
if you want to win, like if you're fighting to win, you're gonna make adjustments even if you fight the way you're fighting.
You have to. Yeah.
I feel
Let
like
me be real.
so. I mean,
Let me be real.
yeah,
If William Skull was fighting anybody else other than Canelo, he won that fight.
I heard who said that? Shakur
or
said that.
draw, or draw. I think it would have been a draw if it was anyone else. Just from the lack of output from Canelo. If it wasn't a title fight or it was just a title defense on one end, and the person didn't do enough to beat William Skull, is how you would look at it. But you would also, I feel like that would be the lens where you would say William Skull. I could see it being a draw if it's just you take two random people and have that same exact fight. I think you look at it like a draw
I think
from lack of
sometimes
output.
I think sometimes when you get in those positions, like when you come out of nowhere, you're like, not saying he's a nobody, but to
Yeah,
diehard boxing fans, especially to the casual fans, they
yeah,
didn't know him at all. So to a lot of judges, they won't know him at all either, and they get so the judges are watching this fight, and they're like, how do we? Even if we wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes in those fights where there's an A-side, a huge Canelo type fighter,
yep, yep,
superstar, megastar, the face of boxing, the entire sport, um,
yeah,
you like try, like they want to see him try to win, and so with
yeah, yeah.
him not try, he was to me he was in there. This is my first time seeing him fight as well. It wasn't before I go there to the especially the fight. Tarver, that was shout out to Tarver, Antonio Tarver.
Yep.
I was on the
Yep.
Olympic team in '96.
Yep.
He said that he went and did a like a little background check on Skull, and he said he didn't pass the eye test for him. He said he didn't
Hmm.
really have what it took to possess anything to give Canelo any problem. And I kind of like I listened to certain people, and I don't know if y'all know, but Tarver was like one of the best amateurs in the entire history of the sport
Yeah.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
around the world. Out of all
Yeah.
Cubans, the Russians, the Germans,
Yeah.
Hmm.
he beat everybody. He won almost
Yeah.
every tournament you can name as an amateur, every international tournament you can name as
Yep.
an amateur.
He was
So
he was
Yep.
chasing Roy.
he's very, 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 very wise in this sport, and I take his word. So I listen to somebody like him. So I didn't have to go do no background checks. So this was my first time seeing him fight,
Yeah.
and to me, he's a poser. And this is
Mm.
no diss to him, but when you like moving around the ring and you making like you trying to look like a boxer more than you're
Showman.
actually boxing,
Hmm.
then you're a
Yeah.
poser to me. And to make it to that level though means that you can fight. You know what I'm saying? He done something. He
Yeah.
must have done something right to get to a Canelo fight,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
he looked like a
Mandatory.
poser that night. He looked like a poser that night, and you can't you can't beat a Canelo being a poser. You got to let your hands go, and Laura. I don't know if y'all seen the Laura fight way back in the day when he fought Canelo.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
it was like in the same fashion, but Laura was letting his hands go. He was
100%.
a whole lot more. And Canelo did what he needed to do to cut him off. He started going to the body, cutting the ring off
Back
real
when he,
good.
yeah, back when he still, I mean, he never had feet for it, but back when he could move a
Right,
little
right,
bit
right.
more.
Yeah, he definitely had a little bit
G-
more youth in him and to able to be able to
Yeah.
cut the ring off more. But
GT,
Yeah.
GT,
yep.
real quick, can I ask you a question about that? Do you think so? That's Cuban versus Cuban, or that's Cuban and Cuban. So, do you think maybe Canelo thought that he might have that same luck with Laura that he, you know what I mean, like with William Scull?
Right.
Then with Laura.
He didn't have to have luck. He just didn't have to do anything.
Not even luck, but just
Yeah,
the same type of like fight, like maybe exciting
yeah,
fight that they thought with the
yeah.
style.
Same style.
I think he would have assumed that, but um, he probably didn't like weigh in the fact that he's more of a, I ain't gonna say no diva, but he's more of a, he's laid back. He don't do as much anymore. He's a um uh he's less hungry. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
he's not throwing as hard. He's not as fast, not as explosive. So he probably didn't weigh in that, because when you weigh those things in, then it's like, okay, I can't expect to have that same kind of fight. But yeah, so I probably
yeah.
think he was thinking that it was going to be the same exact fight. But you have to remember that he wasn't that same guy. That fight was what, 2000 and
Bro, that was
That
a
was a
long
minute
time,
ago.
bro. That was
that
a
might be 2013, 12, 13, somewhere around there.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was in
Long,
college when
that's a
that fight
decade,
happened.
over a decade ago. So
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think I was in college when that fight happened.
speed, some speed, some a whole bunch of stuff, came down, decreased. But
Right.
uh,
100%.
yeah, he probably assumed that. He probably assumed
Yeah.
that.
Well, I
But you
mean,
know
I
what
just
though? He might have had the same kind of success had Skull let his hands go more like Lara
yeah,
did. So you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that could have been a difference as well.
It's almost like he took the Laura blueprint. Like if it's like he took the Laura blueprint and was like, and it
I'm
was
gonna throw
almost like
next.
it was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this and then how he did it, but he didn't watch it all the way. It was almost like he watched like half. It was like, you know what, bet if I just move a lot, I should have more of a chance. Not move a lot and throw. He just
facts.
Right,
took
exactly.
part of the blueprint. It was just like it's almost like he skimmed through it. Like you skimming through a book, and you like,
Right,
okay, this is what he did to win, and not like, yeah, but this is like the meat and potatoes of it is that he was able to try to hit and not get hit, not try not to get hit only.
Right.
And
right.
yeah,
What
it
you
kind of
think,
seemed
Quincy?
like that.
What you think about that fight, Quincy?
I didn't even get to catch that one. I was at a
You
I
ain't
was
missing nothing. You ain't missing
yeah, I was
nothing.
chaperoning
Yeah,
for
miss.
my daughter's field trip, so
You ain't
You
miss a
ain't missing
damn thing.
nothing.
Not
Yeah,
a
you ain't missing
damn
nothing.
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
even get to
that was
catch
a
that one.
sparring session, man.
It's so
Sparring session.
crazy because,
That's what I heard.
and I knew he was gonna do it anyway afterwards, but boy, Turkey was quick to put Terrence Crawford in that ring
He
after. It was
needed
like,
it.
yeah, yeah, we got this fight.
He needed
Got
it.
this
Yeah,
fight right now.
yeah, they had to do that.
He,
They had to do that. They had to do that.
Gi-
he had the same face so bad.
Give us something to cheer about at this point, bro. Because that what you did this weekend was absolutely horrible.
Man, he got that man in that ring. Fat, the the sweat ain't even dry up off the ring yet. He got that nigga in the ring so fast.
He
I
said,
was
"I
like,
need
bro,
everybody out of the ring. I need everybody
yeah,
out of the ring.
now, now, now,
School, get your ass up out of the
yeah,
ring.
Terrence,
School, I mean,
That's
school, get
funny.
up out of
He
here.
said, "This motherfucker
Terrence,
was
get
a
up here
toy."
now. The fuck
Terrence,
up
where
here
you
right
at?
now.
Facts, bro.
GT, I got a question for you though.
Uh,
How do you feel about this AI
yeah.
scoring?
Good question.
Uh, I didn't see the any of the scorecards that it did for these weekends fight, but
Hmm.
I think that I like all new stuff. You know what I'm saying? As long as it ain't interfering with the
Sure.
way
Yeah.
we do
Yeah,
things. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, I really did catch it. I remember I heard them say it though. You know what I'm saying? But this was one of those fights where I was on my phone for real, man. Because
Yeah.
yeah, for real,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
You when
it's
they're
sad to
pointing
say.
like
It's sad to say. This was supposed to be the weekend we were supposed to have our
No,
phones at all.
for
right.
no.
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
I
we
took a
couldn't like
shower during
we
the
couldn't
fight, had it on
unplug
the
nothing.
background.
Yeah,
That's
this
what they envisioned.
Yeah,
this
I just think that it's cool to start incorporating that AI, um, scoring because I think I heard most of them were talking about it mostly during the Ryan Garcia fight, and they were
Hmm.
saying that AI had Ryan Garcia beating him through like 8 rounds or something like that, and then
wow.
it took turnaround.
That's
So I don't know how they're
It's gonna have to work out the kinks like everything else.
yeah, they're definitely gonna have to work out the kinks, but I think that's why they're obviously not. They're just kind of testing it out
my
right now. But
my thing is I want to see like how AI like judges and scores because like you
yeah,
have
that's what I
aggressive
want to know.
fighters, you have counter punchers, like you have people
Hmm.
who are walking people down, like Tank for
Yeah,
instance. Tank has a very low punch output, but if he stalks you, he's still in control of the fight.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, are you taking into account, fighters like that or fights like that? I need to see more.
I don't think they. I think it's tough to like, especially in its infancy, for it to. It's
There's a
got to
lot of
see a bunch
input.
of fights.
There's
It's
a
got to
lot of
see a
input.
bunch of fights, and I'm sure they
Hmm.
showed them a bunch of like historical
Right.
fights, but it's got to see a lot of fights to see it come through
But you
and
know
to what
what?
its full potential is.
But you know what? For me, like, you have to teach these things like what the right answer is for it to know how to be right, right? So
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
like it can't like go off of these damn judges out here that be scoring these scorecards most of
that's
the time.
true.
Like so, and if they say like for example, you just said they showed it in historic fights, like and say they took a scorecard, they watched the fight and they took a scorecard of one judge or all three judges, and they said
Yeah,
you should be like this judge, you should judge this
Hmm.
fight or this
yeah,
round like this judge did, and like
yeah.
who tells it which judge is doing the right job? You know what I'm saying? Like who's
Right.
the
That's true.
judge
That's a
Or do
great
they
that tells
just
question.
the
teach it
AI
the
what's
or do
right?
they just teach it the
Great
baseline and
question.
say, hey, read it as it is.
Well, shit, and
Maybe
rules changed also, right? So it's like
yeah.
what is legal now or what was legal then. Now you
Hmm.
got changing the rules, so it's got to keep up with shit like that.
And
It's a lot of like little nuances.
MG,
Yeah.
I mean, if you taking the podcast we just did with Jack Reese, they got a whole book that they update. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, bro.
Y'all had Jack Reese on?
Yeah, we
yeah.
ain't
Oh
dropped it.
man, congratulations, man. That's dope, man.
You ain't,
Appreciate you.
you still ain't drop it?
I ain't drop it yet, bro. I'm waiting on the right time. I'm probably gonna drop it this week though, cause I can't. So like, GT, that's the homie for me, bro. So I can't
Yeah,
overlap. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I gotta market the shit out of GT, and then I'm gonna get to Jack Reese too. So
yeah.
that's a special guest
That's
for me
dope.
to the point where I can't put nobody like in that whole like zone. You know what I mean?
Cycle.
Zone cycle,
Yeah.
however you want to call it. But yeah, but
Hmm.
we're gonna get to it for sure.
Not for
Yeah.
sure.
So
And you brought up Tank. You made me think of something that that's been on my mind this weekend. So you remember the fight we seen with Tank and Roach, right?
yes,
Correct.
It was a great fight. Had a great. I mean, it was great from start to finish and after. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
before, during, and after. And that
100%.
wasn't a fight that everybody was asking for. People like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
and then you compare that matchup and then that hype for that fight and then the
Hmm.
fans' reaction to it being placed on our radar like this is going to be an
Yeah.
upcoming fight. And compare it to the fights that we had this weekend. I think people need to stop begging for certain matchups and just
Yeah.
tune in to your favorite fighters, fight no matter who they gonna fight, and just hope to see a great fight.
Hmm.
Because look what
Yeah.
happened with these beautiful these supposed to have been beautiful matchups that, and it turned out to be nothing like a Lamont Roach and Tank.
correct.
So I think people need to like how people begging for the Shakur and the Tank fight. Like
Yeah.
just be calm, be patient, and be happy with whatever we get out of these great fighters. Like
Hmm.
because we rush into we rush in these matchups and then look what happened when we get them. You know what I'm saying? For
I
some of
think
them,
I
or these
think people
last
were
this
spoiled.
weekend. Anyway.
Even though it was a total domination, I think people were spoiled from the well, it happens all the time. That's just or boxing fans always just it's always like they want more, obviously.
The Mayweather
But
fight.
the I was gonna say, well, that one I was gonna bring up that one, but I was also gonna bring up the Spence Crawford fight
Oh
where
yeah,
it was high action, which is what people wanted to see. So it's like, all right, well, we need to start making these. Like, I think it like became that we need to start making these type of fights and proving who is the guy. I guess is kind of what the pecking order. People try to want to determine what the pecking order between fights are. Our
That shit,
fighters are.
that shit still breaks my heart, bro.
oh
Not me.
Spence.
Not me. I want some money that night. Shout out Terrence
You a
Crawford.
sick nigga, bro. I tell you
Shout out
that,
Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I was rooting for Spence that night,
man.
but the fight was beautiful though. I love the fight. The way it turned out was
I
beautiful.
uh I want to say something, but I can't.
Why can't you, bro? What's up? What's on your mind, bro? Speak your mind.
I
Say
was
it.
in Vancouver watching that fight with one of my homies, and my homie turned down some coochie to watch that fight. Fun fact. Fun fact.
Hey, bro. I think think a lot of motherfuckers would.
And it
Hell
was
yeah, that
funny
was a
that
huge fight. That was a
I
huge
just
fight, man.
the funny part about it is the text that my friend received while he was. It was like, you gonna watch two men beat each other up instead of beating up this. I was the text that my friend received, and he did not get to go back and smash that Vancouver
crazy.
Canadian lady.
But it
So shout
happened
out
so fast. How long was the fight? How many rounds did it go?
Probably it was
4?
9.
Now,
that was about, but it's the principle with females sometimes where they like, nah,
Right.
you thought that was important, so stay
Right.
over there.
Yeah.
Sure was.
But
Anyway,
yeah, shout out to my homie.
and shout out to the homie, bro.
I'm not gonna say his name until we off there.
Hey, well, real quick, let's break down, or not even break down, but just a small preview of Canelo and Crawford. Who do y'all got and why? Real quick.
I feel like it's who I'm pulling for at this point. I don't even. I'm taking logic out of the equation. This is me being honest. I really want Crawford to beat him.
I low key
I'm
do
taking a
too.
lot, but logistically, going up 2 weight classes is just tough. So, three technically, because he's a natural 147 pretty much. So
Skills
going
pay the
up three.
bills, bro. Skills pay the bills.
If he don't move around, if he moves such a skull move, but actually trades,
I'm.
I don't know.
I want to see what the trade is. I want to see how well Crawford takes that initial punch to the body. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, that's gonna be very telling.
I
But he
want.
said that with Spence too. He thought, well, I mean, granted, different beast. It wasn't a weight drain person in front of him.
That's true.
Uh,
Thank you for
or this
acknowledging
won't be
that,
a
too.
weight drain person in front of him.
Thank you for
But
acknowledging that. I appreciate that.
it wouldn't have changed nothing. All right. You want that conversation? That's on an old pod. Uh, but uh, I think that it's going to be interesting to see how later rounds in that fight, if he can still move around, how Terrence Crawford just moves around, especially if he takes that body punishment. Because man, if he actually gets touched to the body, that's what Canelo's bread and butter. But Canelo ain't stopped nobody in 4 years, so
Yeah,
probably longer. I think.
but I think
When,
he's.
Caleb Plant was the last one.
I think he's got a chance to stop him because I don't think Crawford is just gonna sit there and just survive.
He ain't gonna do what Munguia did. He ain't gonna do what Charlo did. He ain't gonna do what
Skull.
Skull or
Munguia
Berlanga.
fought though, didn't
Huh?
A little bit. I feel like the early rounds, yeah, and then he just felt like he didn't want to get punched after.
I thought Canelo just took his foot off the gas on him. I thought, Jaime, he tried his best.
Yeah,
He took his foot off the gas after the first knockdown, in my opinion. I agree.
yeah.
He let him.
It
He
was a
let him
respect
live.
thing. It was a
He let
respect
him
thing.
live.
It was a respect thing. I won't do Jaime Munguia like that. My bad, Munguia. Berlanga, come over here. You in that fire too.
Punk ass nigga.
Berlanga,
Yeah.
Charlo, and Skull all
No,
pretty much had this
Berlanga tried. Berlanga tried. He tried.
early.
He
And
tried.
he was like, ah.
It wasn't. It didn't do much, but he fought.
He did.
I think
But
Styles, yeah, his style wasn't set up for
Crawford.
that to win that fight.
When people ask me about this fight, like when I think about it, I didn't think it was gonna be made, honestly. But I
Yeah,
always say that, I didn't like it. I didn't even want it to happen because, like, Crawford undefeated, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So this is one of our like huge. This is our huge superstar right now. Meaning, us Native Americans.
Go ahead and
Like,
say it.
and I like that he's undefeated. He's getting greater and greater. He accolade after accolade, moving up and keep still doing his thing. He getting even better than me. The in the last fight versus Madrimov,
Mm-hmm.
he showed me new things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Yep,
oh, he's steadily progressing, improving. That means a lot to me. Like that shows a lot too. Like when because he's over the hill too. You know what I'm saying? Meaning
for
he's
sure.
about to start, and he's probably really over the hill. Meaning we may not see him too many more times in the ring. To
Right.
be
For
honest,
sure.
especially getting this
This
huge. Pay.
this might be
You
the
know what I'm
last
saying?
one.
Yeah, and even though he's one of those legacy fighters, he's not really like a flashy jewelry, cars, and houses. So he's not. We can't see him
He's a
blowing
regular
his money.
dude.
We
He's a
can't see
regular
him
dude.
blowing his money. We don't see these huge purchases and stuff like that. So of course we
Right.
can't pockets or anything, but it don't seem like he's blowing his money. It seems like he has a whole lot of stuff saved up, and he's making smart investments and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep.
So we may be seeing the end of him, but so I didn't really want to see him fight because I want him to stay undefeated as long as possible and try to surpass all the greats, before
Yeah.
him. But this fight is so dangerous that
Man.
it's almost to me before this weekend. I would have said I was it was just too many disadvantages, and it's like an
Yeah.
unfair fight to me because he really just moved up to 54.
That's why
So
I would have
to
wanted to
me,
see one more fight at 54, personally.
yeah, I would like to see a whole bunch more, but yeah, everyone would count would be to the best. But
Yeah.
I say that of course I wanted to win. I'm Team Tarver. I'm my people all the time. What I'm saying? I'm a huge Canelo fan, but he going against a brother, man. So I want to
Yeah.
see him succeed. But I definitely think he has a chance. Every fighter got a chance. Especially
Yeah.
what 2-time undisputed
Yep.
already.
Yep.
A world
Uh,
renowned. Yeah.
yeah, and but uh I guess we go. He's of course he sparred people. He's one of those crazy fighters. What I'm saying? Not all fighters are crazy where they're,
He
they're
got
willing
that
to box.
edge.
They're willing to box heavyweights, and
Yeah. He got that
and
edge
he's
to him.
probably the craziest fighter in the history of the sport. Meaning like he's competitive. He's super competitive. He's
Mm-hmm.
highly
Yeah.
like hyper competitive at everything and anything. You can see it with him wrestling and play fighting and slap boxing and ping pong and
Right.
shooting
Yep.
pool, whatever, playing cards. Like you can just tell he just wants to be the best at everything he ever tries. I'm the same
Yeah.
way, but I
Yeah.
think he's even more to me to where he even goes and he's willing to say wrestle somebody 400 pounds and he's only 150 some pounds. So
Right, for sure.
he's a little wilder than I am. So um, I think that he has a chance for sure, but I think it's just too many disadvantages. So I see Canelo, and I don't think Canelo's gonna take it easy on him like he did Munguia. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be like uh, a black versus brown thing, and I think he's and it's gonna be Mexican Independence Day, ain't it? Yeah, Mexican
I
Independence
believe
Day.
so. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a whole lot of crazy energy. I don't know if y'all ever seen like a real black versus brown on the Mexican Independence Day or been at the arena. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
like a Raiders game. You know what I'm saying? Back in the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like going to the Steelers stadium back in the day versus the
Mm-hmm.
Bengals or the Browns. It's like
Right.
it's a whole bunch of like animosity and fucked up energy. Excuse my language. That's gonna
Yeah.
like that's gonna go into the crowd. It's gonna be street fights out there in the crowd, and so I don't think he's gonna take it easy, and I think he's gonna bring Crawford's gonna wake up a version of Canelo we ain't seen in a long time, and
Yeah.
definitely not this one. This one that just passed is not gonna be the same
I
Canelo
agree.
versus
Yeah.
Crawford. It's gonna be one that like it's a hyped up fight, like how and speaking of Inoue, I don't know if we gonna touch on the Inoue
You
fight,
know we're
Yeah.
gonna
That's
touch on
next.
that.
That's
but
next.
that fight got me so hyped up that I'm announcing right now that Coach GT is coming back to the sport as a fighter, man.
Hey,
I know it
Let's
sounds crazy.
go.
I know my mom gonna be pissed off at me.
Let's go.
I know people gonna be like, man, you can't fight, whatever.
Let's
Like it
Let's
go.
ain't too much. It
go.
ain't too much film on me out there. So people like, man, whatever. But those who know, like when I lock in, I could be 21 years. I could be 20. It don't matter the age. It don't matter how much experience they got. Wisdom is the key, and conditioning is the key. So thank you to Inoue for waking up a monster. I'm
We
coming
gonna
back
Well,
to
be
the sport.
there.
hey, we there.
We gonna
let's
be
get
We
there.
it.
there.
Yeah.
I
Coming
can't
back to
wait.
the
We gonna
sport.
be there.
Oh shit.
We
Who?
taking the
And what
pod on
happened
the
was
road.
this ain't the first time this happened. The first time this happened was when Zab Judah and Floyd they had a 24/7 and they
Yeah.
woke up a monster. I was back home in the streets, making
Yeah.
crazy money doing stuff. I like I say
Yeah.
I really regret. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
they woke me up. They woke up a giant so much that I said I quit it and I moved to Vegas and I got back into the sport. So like if I was, this is the same feeling I got back then. Like that
Let's go.
Inoue fight like woke up a monster, man.
Let's go. Let's
You,
And
go.
guess who I want to fight though?
who?
Who?
Inoue.
Hey, let's get it.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
hey, hey. Go get you a belt.
Oh shit.
Hey, go be undisputed, GT. Fuck it. Hey,
Let's
Man,
I
go.
ain't mad at it, bro. You want to
Let's
fight the
go.
best. You want to fight the best,
hey,
bro.
Let's go.
why waste time? Of course, I might need one or two. You know what I'm saying? I know some. They're like, man, we can't get in here and waste our time, man. Put you in there with no damn Inoue. But yeah, that's what I want. That's what I. You know what I'm
Let's
saying? I want to go
go.
for that. And I know it sounds crazy. It's gonna sound crazy to a whole bunch of people until they see what I can do.
But
Let's go.
you've been in the ring for 32 years, bro. Nothing's
Let's
crazy.
go.
You have a lot that you can give, bro. So give it.
Yeah.
Show everybody
Hey, and
what you can do,
we
bro.
see the blueprint. We done seen him get dropped twice. We seen the blueprint of what it take to drop him.
That man a
It's
monster though, for real. He a monster. Much
yeah. I was
respect.
gonna
Much
say
respect.
Let's
That's why I
yeah,
want to. That's why I want to get in the ring with him.
well,
yeah.
two things.
It's hard not to respect him.
Two things. Target date for you when you looking to get back in the ring.
I have no idea, man. But I'm just know. Tomorrow is my first day back in training.
Okay.
Let's
Weight
go.
class? Are you aiming towards 126 or?
Yeah, I think about 126, 122. I think I can make those. I think I
Yeah,
can make.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
excited, bro. Like, hey, I ain't gonna
Hey,
lie.
we didn't talk to what's it
Oh,
Vincent we had on
Jason.
the
Yeah. Hey,
get him a tune up. Get GT a
get
tune
you
up before you get in there anyway.
a
Oh yeah,
quick
I'm
joint.
connected. I'm connected to all promoters all over the world. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I've been a good person to everybody. So
Oh, I
yeah,
could tell. I
yeah,
could tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get back into it ain't gonna be a problem. I'm just gonna have to prove that I'm serious and that I'm worth the
Yeah.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Hey, bro, I'm excited, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Same.
I ain't gonna lie.
Same,
I'm
man.
excited, bro. Let's get this
We
shit.
gonna be there. We
Hey,
gonna be there when that
hey.
day come. We gonna be there.
When that fight get announced, I'm buying my motherfucking ticket, bro.
Yeah,
That's all
wherever
I'm gonna
we need to
say.
go. Wherever we need to go, we gonna be there, bro. Not even
Shit.
playing.
They they gonna laugh, but they gonna find out when I'm serious.
Hey,
All right.
E-
it's all fun and games till somebody get punched in the mouth, bro.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right. You're damn right. That's what's up, man. We can cover the NWA card, but that's good breaking news.
Hey, bro, that's
We're gonna
breaking
let that
news, bro.
moment breathe in that move.
Hey,
We're gonna
that
let that moment breathe in itself. We let that moment settle.
that's an exclusive moment at LaRue's room, bro. That
For sure.
exclusive. Shit. Hey.
The old man getting back in there with the
Old
youngster.
man.
Back in
Oh
the saddle.
shit, bro.
Back in the saddle, man.
Age ain't
Back
nothing
in
but
it.
a
My
thing.
mom gonna kick my ass.
Hey, just don't
She
say
gotta
it.
understand. She gotta understand.
Don't
Yeah.
don't say nothing to the day of the fight.
She gotta understand.
To the day of the fight.
Yeah.
She
Nah, she
really
gonna
whoop
see
his
this.
ass then.
Nah, she gonna see this. She tuned in. She watch all y'all stuff now.
Hey, I
Oh, that's
appreciate
what's
it,
up.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Hey, Mom Dukes,
For
we
sure.
love you. Hey, but hey, you gotta let him go. You gotta let him
He
go.
in good hands. He fine. He gonna be all right.
He know too
What
much. Hey, what?
life is a movie, man. Life is a movie, and this is how I want my movie to
That's
go,
a
man.
I
fact.
Hey,
feel
That's a
you.
fact.
I feel you.
GT, what AB say?
You either direct it or somebody directing it for you. You sound like you directing yours, man.
What
You
hey,
directing yours.
what AB
Right?
say?
I wrote the script. I'm directing. I'm
Spike
starring. I'm
Lee.
There
producing.
you go.
He
Spike
Soundtrack.
Lee.
he got the
All of
best.
that.
He got the best product, but he don't sell it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I can't wait.
they gonna see
Yeah, yeah.
though.
You remember that? You remember
I
that?
remember that, bro.
Yep.
Bro, I've been following y'all for a long time, bro. A long time. He got
AB, shout out to AB. Get your ass out here. Come and get this word.
hey, real before we get into anyway, if you could say something to AB right now on a serious note, bro, just so he can lock in, bro. I think he could still be champ at 140
Maybe y'all can
and
lock in
147.
together. Shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
For real.
If you could say one thing
Yeah.
to him.
He after the three fights at Times Square, he actually made a post on his page where he said he let them know that congratulations to all the fighters and whatever. And he said he ready for 140, 144, 147, and people started tagging me in the comments, and I left a comment, and I told him that he need to quit playing and come on down here, come and get this work,
For
and
sure.
he asked me to come to him. He said, "Come back to the states, to train him." But I like, nah. You need changes. You need to make changes. They're doing the
Yeah.
same shit. That stuff you've been doing ain't working. It's
Mm-hmm.
time to
Right.
change
For
it
sure.
up.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
this is all part of the movie. My movie, his movie, the movie. So he needs
Yeah.
to come out here. This is perfect for for his situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of things lined up, not just for me, but for other people, my fighters, and especially my brother AB. So this place been calling him. Like, it's a spiritual place, man. And I don't, y'all
Yeah,
probably can tell. We need to do a tour like in the daytime where I can take y'all
I'm
around and
in.
stuff.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
We're gonna do it in person too.
yeah, we do it a little early. Yeah, yeah, for sure in person. But yeah. So this place is very spiritual, man. And it's the kind of reset and detox and detachment from all of the bullcrap and chaos and that's going on in the states or in AB's world that
Hmm.
he needs to come and experience so that he can let all those tears out, let all that stress out, let all that worry out, that old pressure, all the haters, and because this ain't nothing but nature. I'm at the top of a mountain in the clouds. I don't know if y'all seen, but we were in the clouds
Yeah.
at first, but now
Yeah, I
you can see
saw
like
that.
you can see the city
Yeah,
behind. Yeah, oh, wait, yeah, you can see
yeah,
the city now.
yeah,
But
yeah,
before
yeah,
we were all in the clouds, so the scene changes up here like every 3 or 4 minutes because the clouds just flying past and you in the clouds
yeah,
and you out of the clouds and you in the cloud. So it's you so close to God up here that you kind of like you feel like he right here
Mm-hmm.
instead of
Yeah.
yeah,
way away. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
and I think that's what he need. He need that. Matter of fact, I know that's what he need. He need a reset. He need to know that because AB, I don't know if y'all can tell, but AB is a chosen one. AB is a very special. He favored by God. He's getting so many chances.
yep,
He
yep,
he got some diehard fans that won't leave his side no matter
yep,
what bullshit he do, no matter how he perform, no matter how he don't perform, and
yep,
they waiting on him to reach his full potential, and they know he still got it left. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Mm-hmm.
And
yep,
so one of my comments to somebody said like you'll be wasting your time on that post I'm talking about if you would to keep messing with AB, and I said it'll never be wasted time. If he come to me, he'll become a 5-time 5 division world champion for sure, no doubt
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
This ain't just me having faith in my coaching capabilities, and I know I can. I know I can make him. I don't care if he ain't all the way him. I'm definitely gonna make him a 5-time. But I know that he still got it in him. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
know he do. It got to be brought out in a certain way. You
Yeah.
can't be. It can't be rushed. It can't be forced. It
Can't
can't
be no
be.
half stepping.
And the coach has to be mindful of AB's mind and what's going on in his mind, what's going on in his world, and
Mm-hmm.
it all has to be handled
Center.
with care. It all has to be handled with care, and everything has to have some attention and a certain amount of priority to everything. And it can be done.
And
So
who better
AB,
than, someone
and
that's
I know
been in
everybody
the
right.
environment?
I know a lot of people writing them off. AB still got what it takes to beat Devin, to beat Tio,
Easy.
to beat Barboza, to beat who else fought that night?
Especially this version.
To beat Rolly, and
And
who else
Ryan.
fought?
Yep.
Fuck out of here.
And Ryan. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that he may not get
Yeah.
dropped in the fight. I'm not saying that it's going to be some flawless performances, but he has the capability to win against all of them fighters.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
Don't even get me
if
started, bro.
everything is done right. I know they're like, oh, he got to let his hands go. That's what I'm saying. If everything is done right,
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
be done.
His
Do not
Yeah.
count AB out. He is not done. He
man,
is not done.
he people
Bet.
still don't even get me started on this nigga AB, bro. Like I don't understand. People don't understand how talented he is still. Bro, one of
Yeah.
the most accurate counter punches I've ever seen box. One of the most. And the power was there. I mean, 147, he was fighting some big ass dudes, bro, but still giving people work when he let his hands go. But it's all mindset, bro. Once you kind of lock
Yeah.
in, I think with
All
GT,
mindset.
sky's the limit, bro. Sky's the
Yeah.
limit.
For
I done
sure.
seen GT feed him sea moss, bro, when he didn't want to eat it, and then he had a great performance. Great performance. Like I
You
don't
just got to
even
get
know.
back in that lab.
I don't even know if people understand. Like, I'm almost positive, just putting two and two together, being in camp, him and GT, they probably didn't fought Xander Zayas. I mean, they didn't probably didn't sparred him, which I know they sparred him. That was
Yeah,
good
we sparred
work.
him in the
You know how much work they didn't have, bro? You didn't seen everything at that point. You still have all that skill. You take all that knowledge with you. Don't get me started, bro. I'm a huge AB fan at the end of the day, bro. Been a fan of GT too, man. Just collectively, that's the team you want. That's the team you want, bro. Ray and Claude.
Yeah, no, I hope.
I'm guaranteeing if AB come to me, he'll be a 5-time, 5 division world champion. I'm
Speak it
guaranteeing
into existence.
to all of his fans out there and all of his haters, whoever. I'm
Speak it into
guaranteeing he'll be
existence.
a 5-time, 5 division world champion. Guaranteeing it. If
It's
he
gonna
come to
happen.
me, if he come to me and come and get this work, and he know what I mean by this work, ain't no, I don't do no bullshit. Ain't no playing, ain't no partying, ain't no sex, ain't no nothing. It's all nonstop work, thinking about the fight, breaking the opponent down, waking up every old skill and turning all your stuff better than it was, better than it is, into the
Yep.
best it could possibly be. And I'm talking about everything in every single way, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I cover all bases. All my fighters know this. That's why they go into the ring and be their best, man.
Yep. Yep.
Why they go be
And
their
that's
best.
what he need. And it's exactly what he need.
And people don't
So
understand when you got a coach like that, bro. You're talking time. We're talking half a year before somebody like that gets in the ring. Get everything cleansed. Just get right. Like you're investing time just because you give a fuck. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I ain't gonna say nothing
dedication,
else.
man. Dedication. Dedication.
I ain't gonna
It's
say
And you
gonna
nothing
gonna
happen
else.
though.
see,
We speaking
you
into
gonna see,
existence.
you gonna see 20 years come off of his face. You gonna look 20 years younger.
Yeah.
You gonna see
Yeah.
20 years off of his body. He ain't gonna go in the ring looking like the great white hype, the fat kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna look nothing. He gonna look like his old self. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. For sure. Nah, that's what's up, man. And
That's
that's
dope.
what hopefully we could hopefully it reaches where it needs to go, where he
100%.
understands that that's what he needs.
AB, if you
And,
see
and
this,
he can,
bro, we love you. We support you, bro. Get your ass back in that ring, man. Get right.
Yes,
It's
sir.
only right.
the right ring. Go down and work with GT.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts.
For sure. But
Anyway,
yeah. Yeah, we didn't get to cover Inoue
what's up?
because we talking to one of his future opponents, but we
Hey,
didn't get to
facts.
cover the actual fight yet.
Facts. Facts. I'm gonna make some
The
money off
fight
that, big
before it.
boy.
Fight before it.
Rafael Espinoza,
Espinoza, great showing in my eyes.
That was a 6-1 guy, right?
6-1. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't get to see it. I forget what was going on, but I had to do something here at the camp. But somebody told me it was a good fight. Did he win by stoppage?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember that he was 6-1 and how much he weighed?
One
26?
122.
120.
122?
I thought it was
God, he's
Oh no
26.
no, he's 126.
It's
Never mind.
26. It's
26,
26.
26, 26.
126.
Yeah, I think he's
But
26.
that's a really really tall guy, man, for
And
that
he was
weight.
still
Oh, hold
throwing
on.
body
Yeah.
shots.
Speaking of, hold on, not to stop this, but I got to give a shout out to one of my fighters out in New York, Queens, New York, Sugar Ray Sam. He's 6'4", and he gonna be about a 140 pounder. So y'all keep your eyes open.
All
That's
right. Okay.
that's a fighter I'm training from scratch. So
I follow you
Wow.
on the gram, big
fu-
dog. Salute to you.
future world champion, Sugar Ray
Yeah.
Sam. Go follow him and stay tuned. He gonna be the tallest 140 pounder out there, killing the game. Starting
And
from
y'all heard
scratch.
it here. Y'all heard it here first.
He's polished.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all look on GT's Instagram, you'll see some videos of them training too. He's polished. He's getting ready. He's getting
He
ready.
got the
He's the
right
first.
one.
He's the first fighter to come to the camp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Well
good,
documented
And
good,
too.
good.
speaking of that, I also train fighters virtually.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Camp of the Greats physical location. You come here and train with me, and I also do it online. So you send me your footage, or I'm watching you train via FaceTime or Zoom call, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you what to do, what not to do, how to fix things. And then also during the week, because I'm not there as an everyday coach.
Mm-hmm.
You have somebody film you on the bag and sparring and all that stuff. You send me the footage, we correct it like that. I do demos where I hang the bags up and I show them what they're doing wrong, what they're doing right, what they need to change, what moves need to be made, and I don't let them graduate past what like right now he's on the left hook, and
Yeah.
once he get it down to how I like it, then he'll graduate. But sometimes it take weeks. Sometimes it take. You know what I'm saying, I'm not one
Yeah.
of them who's gonna pass you on, and you know how those the trainers be working the midst with like say a celebrity and they be looking
Uh-huh.
all crazy. Nah, y'all passing them too fast. They supposed to still be
Yeah.
on the step. Supposed to still learning how to jab. You can't be throwing
Yeah.
right hand the uppercuts and you don't even know how to jab yet. So
Right.
I I take my time and I make sure that they learn each step by step by step by, and I graduate them just like back in school when we were in first grade all the way up to second grade, whatever. So that's Camp of the Greats virtual training, and that's available. And it starts at $100 for anybody that want to learn from one of the
Dope.
best teachers. I call myself the best teacher in the
100%.
sport. Because I make sure that you get everything that you need on each step of the way before you move on to the next. So
Mm.
I ain't want to just I had to throw that in there real
Nah,
quick.
if you want to
No,
be
no,
a
it was
champ,
Yeah.
if you want to
necessary.
perfect your craft, if you want to be a champ, if you want to compete at a high level, if you want to learn how to actually learn a game of boxing and technique, Camp of the
The
Greats is
right
where you
way,
want to go.
the
100%.
right way, the thorough way, the right way, with care.
With
Right.
care.
Be-
With care.
You could tell the passion. You can tell the
yeah,
passion.
yeah,
I mean, and the attention to detail. So
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
oh man.
that's
Hey, my fighters hate that, man. I point out every single mistake. I'm talking about Floyd, Clarence. They be like, man, they be happy though because, like, say the Kobe's and the
it
Jordans,
matters.
like the best,
Yeah,
the elite, they want somebody to tell them. They want to
Mm-hmm.
get better. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
stay where they are. They want to because it's like a competition. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
want to
yeah,
be
There's
better
always room for
than
improvement.
everybody else in the league. So in boxing, you want to be better than everybody else in the sport, and
yeah.
because it's a whole bunch of ego attached to this and pride.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, I'm telling the best fighter, the best female fighter in the world in the history of the sport, Clarissa Shields, what she's doing wrong every step of the way, what she's doing right every step of the way, and I'm telling the best fighter in the history of the sport, Floyd, where most people shut the hell up. Most coaches won't even say nothing. Are you doing
yep,
it right now? Hey Floyd, you leaving your left side open. You ain't your
yeah.
defense. Your defense is weak on your left side. So I'm that fighter. So I pay close attention to every single detail, and I don't mind telling them.
Yeah. Get
GT is all over YouTube. Let me
We
see.
getting ready for the Savannah Marshall fight right there. That was that training camp.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Whatever y'all need, man, come get it. We work with some of y'all favorite fighters, man.
Ooh.
The quote.
Big whoa.
Absolutely.
Big whoa.
Shout out to Papoose.
Hey, you funny, bro. You funny as shit. Hey, look, it's the reason why GT still got his O. So at the end of the day, bro, come fuck with your boy. That's all. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all I'm gonna say.
But yeah, how did that fight go with the 6'1", 126 pounder?
Pure
He
punishment,
was
bro.
going to the body. He was going to the. I wouldn't expect somebody that tall to go to the body.
That's how we fight, though.
That's dope. That's dope.
And
That sound dope. That sound dope.
I was impressed.
Where you from?
Mexico,
Yeah, but I think he
Mexico.
Mexico.
might. I thought he. I think I don't know if he's from. Yeah, he's from. Damn, I think he's from this. Like, trains out of the states though. But I
He
know he's from
might.
Mexico.
He might.
But I know he's Mexican. That's for sure.
And
That's dope.
he's
That's
31.
dope. A
That
tall
is
fighter
dope.
going to the body. That's real dope. That's
Yeah,
man. That's what I teach. Like the fighter got to be complete no matter how if you fat, short, tall,
hmm,
fast, slow. Be totally teach them every single thing about the whole sport
yep,
and be able
yep.
to adjust. Because sometimes, like that fight, did he get a stoppage?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
So the body shots worked. And if he had done the body shots, it might not have been a stoppage. He might have even lost the fight. Who knows? I ain't see the fight,
That's a
but
fact. That's a
uh,
fact.
you have to have every tool. You have to have every tool, man.
Yeah,
That's
he
dope.
he
I
was
gotta go back
he.
and watch that fight. I gotta
Yeah, it was
watch
a
it.
good one. It was a good one for sure. But in a way,
Man,
is man resilient. Uh, always he always just seems like you just can't knock him off that square. He knows what even through getting knocked down, he has it internally where he's just about to he's still gonna fight through. He was taking some shots and it was like, oh, I'm still on schedule.
he
I'm about
was
to
taking.
get to this. He's like, I'm gonna get to it, even when he was on schedule. So, or in his head, he's like, I'm still on schedule, and he proved it. He was on schedule. It took probably longer than he thought, but he punishment. Somehow he is able to inflict punishment upon everybody.
Facts,
But man,
facts.
and he punched through the guard. It's like even when you see someone like his punches, like my man had a high guard, Face was getting knocked back every time you seen it, and he wasn't even landing them like straight on. He was landing them through the arms. Head getting
Howard.
knocked back.
Can you
Yeah,
Man,
imagine?
that was a great fight to watch, man. It was a great fight to watch.
Can you
yeah, absolutely.
imagine? You put somebody down on the canvas, right? What was it, second round? And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, like, shit flips. You literally, you go back to your corner and says, hey, this guy has no punching power. Like, he not hitting me with nothing. Then that shit changes. And it's like, there's
Right.
nothing you can do. Like,
he was damn near doing the same shit. The return shots hurt more.
it, that and it's like, you see him constantly downloading data from you. Like, even when you're jabbing, you're out of reach. And you don't think you're out of reach. So when he
Yeah,
starts to download all this data and he's picking up your every move after you've knocked him down and he touched your best punch, what do you do, bro? Like,
stay on schedule.
Anyway's that guy for that, bro. The fact that you still stay with the game plan and you just continue to fight and continue to walk him down and you you know the punch is coming and like he took a
Right.
couple of them, bro.
I would say he took more than a couple.
I
He was getting it. He
he,
was getting them.
he didn't give a fuck. And that's what you want.
That put me in the
That's
mind of Felix Trinidad. Like he used to go down
mm,
early in certain fights with light shots, and
yeah,
he get up and
yeah,
the complete mud. That's really is like if you knock him down, the ass whooping gonna be worse. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
For
That's
real.
true. That's very true. That's very true.
That's funny.
That's a good comparison for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
But
good fight though.
great fight.
I ain't gonna take anything.
yeah, it's a great. I gotta say great. I'm gonna say great fight.
Great
Yeah,
fight.
best fight of the weekend.
Yeah, oh, for sure, for sure. The
To be
fighter,
honest,
Cardenas, he did more way better than I think people expected.
yeah,
I didn't do it.
Cardenas.
I did no homework on him, but
Yeah,
I know it was a moment in the fight where it was early on, and I was like, because I started getting hyped up, you know, just off of
yeah,
the, like watching them warm up and all that stuff. And I'm like, I
yeah,
want to fight. This ain't the first time I thought about fighting anyway. Too, it happened a couple of times. I think it was the Scooter fight when he fought Stephen Fulton. Shout out to
yeah.
Scooter too.
Steve Fulton. Yep.
Shout out to
Um,
Scooter, man.
so I was
Cool boy Steph.
and that's my boy too. Shout out to White.
All that.
So I kind of got hyped up a few fights ago, but this night, something happened like early in the rounds, and I was like, man, I can't wait to fight. Anyway, and then dude did something. The Cardenas dude did something. I think he had like a really tight high guard, and
Yep.
Inoue was trying to punch through his guard, but he couldn't get through it. I was like, oh shit! If Inoue can't get through his guard, I was like, you know what? I'd rather fight Inoue than fight the
Mm.
Cardinals guy.
Yeah.
So I remember saying that. So shout out to him. He did a great job. I think that I seen in the end of the fight, I ended up seeing that he had too much respect for Inoue,
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
reason why
Absolutely.
like during the fight, in the beginning of the fight, we really didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was ready to fight, and he did what he did. But then as the fight started going on, you started seeing all the good shot, like all that shit. As a coach,
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
that. I hate that. Do not show the opponent no love.
Right.
Yeah. They was
Y'all
dapping
not
up at the end of
friends. Y'all not
rounds.
y'all not friends. Y'all not cool. Y'all
Enemies.
don't even speak to him. We don't want him to hear nothing, know nothing. We
For
coming to
sure.
beat his ass, silent assassin style. So
For
when he
sure.
started showing all that respect and stuff, especially at the end of the fight, like he in the corner taking pictures with dude before they even announced the winner. Like if I was a coach, man, get your ass over here, man.
Yeah. That
Right.
was kind of. That
We
was kind
just
of
lost.
crazy.
We just lost, man. Nigga, we be
Right.
happy when we get paid and all that stuff. We be cool, but like
Right.
he showed too much respect. It revealed that he had too much respect for
Yeah. Yeah.
during the fight. But the fight for me, he got knocked down the same way he got knocked down in another fight.
Um.
Miri.
Miri.
In a way, is he dope. And I don't want to fight him because I see holes. I want to fight him because he's the best. But he got a
Yeah.
lot of holes. He has a great offense, but he tries so hard that he leaves himself open a little bit for
Yeah.
oncoming
It's
offense.
like he's
And
winding up a right hook or a right hand every time too. GT.
Yeah, and he's got a certain rhythm. You could tell, and it's just people who just don't want to take that power. But he got a rhythm where he just doesn't escape that same rhythm that he does with his punches.
it's
Or
so
or
fast
so
and
it seems.
it's hard to predict it. And it's hard to
Hmm.
defend it. You know what I'm saying? Even
Yeah,
if you got your hands up, because it's boom boom, and it's not like one of the shots gonna be hard. Both of them gonna be hard. So you got to keep both. You got to like have a high guard, and you got to like this. that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't
Yeah.
do that. So that's a shout out to the Cardinals guy. He had a great high guard defense, and
Even
everybody
when
can
they
hard.
stopped the fight, he still had the high guard up.
Right. And speaking of that, the fight was prematurely stopped, in my opinion.
I said the same shit.
You
I said the
did.
same shit.
A lot of that stuff missed. I don't even think he landed a clean punch at the end when they stopped it. Something might have got through the guard a little bit, but it wasn't nothing like
Do you think his
major.
corner stopped it?
I don't know. I ain't see that. I ain't
I
see
didn't
it.
see it either, but it just seemed premature. Like maybe they saw the respect. I don't know. In that regard, he was still showing them respect because he wasn't coming forward as much as he was. But that doesn't mean he wasn't blocking them shots. Like they were still just hitting the guard. I was like, at that point, like maybe the last round there was some shots he was taking, but at that point in that round, I was like, I don't know why they stopped it like that. It was kind of
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. That was. But it could have been a corner because the corner was like, "I'm gonna give you one more round, whatever." But
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they did say that. They did say
he
that,
actually
and
was,
the doctor came over.
he actually was doing. He still had something left, but maybe
I
he was
think so
saving them.
too.
Maybe he saved them. Maybe he saved them. Who
I
knows?
think
You get the fight. So.
I thought he was
Yeah,
gonna get stopped at some
It could have
point.
ended up, but he still had a chance.
Yeah,
But that was a great effort. He was there. He landed a whole lot of shots. Like in those kind of fights, us as fighters, like we take those big shots. We take. It kind of like give us deja vu while we're there. We start feeling like we're in a movie.
yeah,
We don't even feel like we're in the moment for real. We feel like we like in another realm dreaming or something.
Right.
And
yeah,
I
Out
mean,
of body
sometimes
experience.
you wake up and sometimes you snap out of it till you're at your hotel room, like eating, ordering some room service. So I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, in a way, he had fun coming to America for the first time. But I'm sure he'll never forget that experience because he got hit with some shit. You know what I'm saying?
He got
Um,
hit with some
and,
shit,
and
boy.
not just that punch that knocked him down. Like he got hit with some stuff that did knock him down.
Yeah.
That was harder. You know what I'm saying?
Before he got
That-
knocked down, he was bleeding. His nose
his
was bleeding. He was
nose.
getting hit
Yeah.
with some shit from early on to I mean until about that was it sixth round. It stopped in the seventh, right? That sixth round is where it kind of was like, "Arr,"
Did
and he stopped getting hit with the hard shots. Dude had some like looping right. He was throwing some good rights. Then they just kind of got like he kind of got
yeah.
off the like
A
throwing
little
the
out of
actual
control.
tactical right where he was like, I got to get him off me.
this anyway was hitting that body, bro? He was destroying the body.
Yeah, he was trying to get him off him.
Did
It didn't look the same.
Do y'all think the punishment that Inoue took? Do y'all think it's gonna have maybe a effect later when he fights somebody
Nah,
serious?
not on this one. I don't think this one was too crazy.
Yeah, no, that's those are kind of punches that add up in the long run. You know what I'm saying when you at the end of your career, sad to say you start talking like Hearns or James Tony and stuff like that, but you
Yeah,
don't feel them.
yeah.
You don't feel them no time like within your career. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't enough. It wasn't like Devin Haney
Punishment.
ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Continuous.
he not killing himself
Earl
with the weight. It was
Spintish.
just some power punches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he wasn't fragile. If when you fragile and you get hit like that, like when you killing yourself with weight and then you
Earl
get hit with those
Spence.
shots, then they like take a huge toll immediately.
Facts.
But
Yeah,
when you healthy and you're not fragile, those punches just they stack up at the end. You feel them at the end. And hopefully,
yeah,
God forbid you do it all because some people don't feel them at all. George Foreman kind of was sharp his whole, even
yeah,
before he. Yeah.
yeah. Nah, he
But
and
some people, they add up and they before they 40, they already declining and
hmm
slurring speech and slobbing on themselves and stuff like that. So
yeah.
it
You'll
depends.
see it
It
on.
depends on it depends on the person. And sometimes it depends on chance, and it's also like how healthy and fragile you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that in the same vein, it's hard for me sometimes to watch like the Hall of Fame boxing like
Boy,
commencements, because like it's like man, you could tell most of them. It's like damn, they took punishment. It's hard. They got a helper coming up with them, or just when
Hmm.
they accepting it, you just hear the slurring in the speech. You're like, damn, he took some
it's
punishment.
it's hard for me to listen to
So
James Tony sometimes, bro. To be honest.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
Mike
Yeah,
Tyson too.
y'all know who hurt my feelings now. Um, one of the best fighters, one of the smartest fighters, one of the gurus of boxing. He's so much of a genius in the sport. Who's starting to slow down and decline now is Shane Mosley, man.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I'm starting to
Uh-huh.
hear a little decline, man. And for me, I may be jumping the gun, but I just watch closely. I always paid attention to
Yeah.
how people talk and how people react because when I was 15, 16, I first started boxing. I seen it. I was like, dang, do he talk like that for real? They was like, yeah, he been hit too much. Like it's a 15-year-old. I'm like,
Yeah.
he 15. He sound like he You know what I'm saying? Like Sugar Ray Leonard, not Sugar Ray Leonard, but like Thomas
Yeah,
Hearns and
yeah,
him, like
yeah, yeah,
I sound like that already. So
Right.
even as soon as I started boxing, I started like watching closely everybody, especially my
yeah.
fighters. I watch
Mm-hmm.
everybody to make sure they to see where they decline and then to see if they decline and to see if we
Mm-hmm.
can reverse it because this is a secret. And people might not know this. Even a lot of fighters might know this, but it was one time I had to lose a whole bunch of weight for a fight. I'm like 16 years old. I'm downtown running, and I got plastic on a bubble coat. It's wintertime. I got
Yeah.
plastic on a bubble coat jock suit, and I come in the house and my mom got the house hot but outside cold. My mom got the
Yeah.
dryer going, the heat on, and I like almost pass out. And I'm like, Mama, I had to lay on the kitchen floor. Like, Mama, take this stuff out. Take this stuff out. So she had to hear it, but take my clothes
Yeah.
off and stuff. And so I go fight. And after I got hit with a couple of decent shots in that fight, I was fighting somebody 132, and I was 112. So it was a
Mm.
Oh
it was a
damn.
big difference.
Yeah.
So after the fight, I'm kind of like I ain't speaking the way I usually speak, and ain't nobody telling me this, but I pay attention to this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Right.
I never want to end up
Conscious
with
of it.
with this condition. So
Yeah.
I noticed that it lasted like for a few days. I'm like, damn, like I hope I ain't gonna be punch drunk forever, am I? And
Yeah.
if I stopped going to the gym, I started eating better, drinking water and stuff, and it went away. And I was like, damn, I wonder if anybody else noticed. Like, you got to take breaks, you got to take time. But some people be going back to the gym.
Immediately.
They get this condition Monday and then go back and spar Wednesday, like, and they just
Mm-hmm.
driving it down and down and down instead of like letting it come back up. So
Right.
fighters, like let yourself bounce back. Like when you
100%.
get hit with these crazy shots, even if it's sparring, give your brain, your body, your mouth, because like we lose control of our mouths. Like when you start slobbering
Mm-hmm.
yourself, like a whole bunch of saliva build up. Fighters know
Yeah.
this stuff, and give yourself time to recover so that you can give your career the longevity that it can have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is a something that fighters don't talk about. I never heard nobody talk about it. So that's a tip, man.
I'm
Like
glad you did. Yeah.
let
Facts.
yourself recover if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Have a long career in this sport.
Recovery just as important as the work. It's a part of the
That
work.
Facts.
is
Facts.
equally important.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good tip for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Q, we got
Yes.
2 more questions, bro. Will we it's all GT related too. So
Shout out to Cardenas, by the way. That's my last.
shout out to Cardenas, man. Shout out to Cardenas. You fought your ass off, but you got dropped. You did good, but it was coming. It was
Shit
coming.
happens.
You fought. You fought till you couldn't fight, bro. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
I can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see him again.
I just want to know who he's gonna
Same.
fight. I don't know who he's gonna fight. He might have to move up in weight.
That's the thing. I mean, he seemed like he probably could, but
I think he could. He could probably end up at 130. I think he's only 29, so he's got some time. He's got some time.
yeah. But go ahead. My bad.
You good? You
No, he's
good? You
good. He's
good?
good.
Um,
All right. So GT, we got a question for you. Give us 4 fights you want to see in 2025 and 2026.
4 fights. Of course, we all looking forward to the Canelo Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I would like to see Canelo and Benavidez.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see Crawford and
Coffee.
Boots.
Crawford.
Crawford.
You think he would? You think they would go back? That would be cool to have after they fought those 2 fights be on the same card.
Yeah.
Who that? Boots and
After
Crawford and
Can-
same
after
card?
after Canelo and Crawford fight, if Boots, Crawford, Canelo, Benavidez could be on the
It's like
same card
passing
after
Oh,
that.
passing of a torch.
Yeah. Both. I don't
uh,
think Canelo or Crawford think that they're worthy enough for a co-headline. Or I think that they both probably think that it's them or the highway for the headline. But I think that would be depending on what happens, the outcome of the fight.
True.
yeah. That would have to be somebody just have to swallow their pride just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that could be. Yeah, that definitely could be. And the Turk got the money. It's really all about the money. Sometimes
Yeah.
pride go out the window when
Yeah.
the pay ain't gonna be right.
That's been
Uh,
Turkey's whole. That's been his whole bag for the last 2 years.
Facts.
2 more fights.
2 more fights.
I would like to see Um,
One more actually, because Boots
I
Crawford.
would like to. Um, I don't think it'd be a super action-packed fight, but I would like to see the matchup of Shakur and Tio. Um,
Okay, okay.
I would like to see. Um,
Somebody got to throw in that Shakur and Tio.
damn, shoot, one more fight. Give me a
I think
division.
that
Name
I think that's four.
four.
You did
Damn.
Boots Crawford. You said Canelo and Crawford. You said
Oh yeah, that's right. Canelo Crawford.
and you said well, I guess that one's already been made, so I'm not. We can count it. Yeah. Let's say heavyweight. Let's say heavyweight if you want to do one more.
Heavyweight. I would like to see Anthony Joshua at the comeback versus Deontay Wilder.
That's a good one.
Yes, yes. We talked about that one before. Me and Staples have. That's one that I would enjoy thoroughly.
You,
I think
And
that should be both of their last
I
fight.
gotta throw this one out there too. Andre Ward versus Canelo
Oh
ooh,
man,
shit.
should
for
should have happened.
2026 Cinco de Mayo.
Hey,
I think that Andre Ward is closer to coming back than people think. He
I think so
he
too.
he's really really close to the sport where I know that it's got to be something that just like Turkey. You could throw that money at him.
I mean,
Yeah, we've been seeing him get in the ring like sparring and stuff. Like when fighters do that, and then especially when like fights like the Inoue fight and big weekends like we just had like 3 days back to
Yeah,
back to back. You start to get it ain't no itch. Forget the itch. You start to like really want to show people that you still got it. That you that nigga still. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I know what type of fighter he is. He a genius, and I know how he thinks. So I know he wants to. I
yeah,
know
for
he.
sure.
Now he may
I
have made
want.
some promise somewhere to where like is was keeping him out, but
Yeah,
I know he
yeah,
wants to deep in his heart for sure.
for sure. I think it would just take the bug and
Jake Paul.
say someone or even the I don't even want to see that.
I do.
Uh, I think if someone would have make the comment to Canelo about Andre Ward, and if Andre Ward and Canelo don't respond the right way, that would be the tip
Possibly.
off.
You know, you know a fight I want to
No
see?
one says his name though. Nobody says his name. Like in
Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
know why? You know why? Because they smart. Like Canelo's smart. You know, if he was to say anything crazy about, he gotta wait. You know what I'm saying like some fighters are smart mentally outside the ring and inside the ring, and Canelo
Yeah,
one of them fighters. You don't want
yeah,
to wait. You don't want to poke a bear before it's too soon. Before it's
yeah,
like you
yeah,
want to. What I want to say is you gotta let Andre Ward get a little bit more older. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because he's still a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
He's still a threat. He's still a threat.
oh yeah, for sure.
One fight that I want to see
That was a good one.
before we get out on that. I want to see Abdullah Mason and Shakur.
What?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
hold on. For what year though? I said 25, 26. That's too soon for
I
Mason.
was going.
I agree.
I think 26.
I think
What? That's too
28,
soon. That's way too soon.
28,
That's
28,
way.
27, 28.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think Abdullah next,
You try
bro.
to slow? We slow cooking.
Nah,
right.
I don't think
We slow cooking over
we're
here.
not slow cooking, but we're getting close to Tank's retirement, bro. Like I think Tank got 1 or 2 more years, but I really think Abdullah Mason, shit, he might even get too big for the weight. But as it stands, I think Abdullah Mason can easily beat Shakur.
Beat him. You said
Easily,
beat him. You
Yes,
said
easily,
beat him.
yes,
easily,
yes.
easily,
Can y'all tell me something? I,
Hell
easily.
yeah. Hell
no,
yeah. Hey, which you smoking? What strain you
Yeah,
got over
yeah,
there?
yeah. What strand?
listen,
What strain you got over there?
listen.
God damn.
That OG.
So
That's the
Nah,
OG.
I'm a huge fan of Abdullah Mason. Like I even tag him in
Same.
my hashtag when I post. Me and his father cool. You know what I'm saying? They want me to work with them. But it's too soon.
Yeah,
And Shakur is a different kind of monster. Like, we seen Abdullah do this to guys he's supposed to be doing it to. Now you stick
the
a
top
Shakur in
rank
there,
challenge.
a lot of that stuff changes. You start seeing him get hit. You'll start
Hmm.
seeing him miss more. You'll start seeing him be frustrated. That's right now though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that in the future it won't change, but right now, yeah, you can't. It's almost hard. It's almost impossible for us to stick a Shakur in as those opponents, that he's been fighting so far.
Yeah, slow
Um,
cook that, man.
GT, but
Slow cook that.
let me battle back a little bit, bro. I'm not like a resume guy, but I am. Shakur, who has he beat that has any type of skill like Abdullah Mason, like a Tank, outside of
We
Jamal
said that
Hill?
shit about Terrence Crawford.
Nah, that's different.
Said that same
right,
shit
right.
about Terrence.
Terrence Crawford's a dog, bro. We can't take that away from Terrence
Shakur's
Crawford.
a dog too. We don't need to
Okay,
take that away from Shakur
but
either.
I'm saying like he ain't fought no Gambo or nobody like that. Like if you look at Shakur's opponents, you could say the same thing. He's done what he's supposed to do. Oscar
But
Valdez, was he
he's
really a
done it
threat?
longer. But he's done it longer. So
What
he
Yeah,
has the
Valdez,
once a
experience.
Valdez was
year?
a threat. Valdez was definitely a threat. You got to think about
Yeah.
what Valdez did in his career, with how the people he done fucked up.
You're
You know
right.
what I'm
Valdez
saying?
had a great career,
No, no,
to
no,
be honest.
no, no,
And
no.
they were in the amateurs together as well. You know what I'm saying? I seen them come
They
up
was.
all through the years.
Yeah, Oscar
But
Valdez is a good fighter, man.
but yeah, you just can't. Abdullah don't got the experience. He don't got the wisdom yet. Um, to be able to handle somebody like a Shakur. Now, put them in the gym and spar. You put them in the gym 10 different times. Maybe Abdullah will win 2 of the sparring sessions out of 10,
Yeah.
maybe 3. But yeah, in a fight where it's Shakur, we'll see a totally different Shakur. You know what I'm saying? In that fight, we won't see no mover. We won't see no. It'll be a 50-50 right there in the ring. They both gonna be trying to bang each other out. And it's gonna be like he gonna be trying to sun him. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? A young boy, like he gonna be
Right.
walking
Yeah.
down with his in a like a Philly shell. Like it'll be
Yeah.
a. But that's right now though. You know what I'm saying? This ain't taking nothing away from Mason. But yeah, and as far as the resume goes, like Abdullah ain't we can't say that he's better than the competition that Shakur fought. Now he may be more skillful than a lot of the
GT.
fighters that Shakur fought.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? He may have
Abdullah
he may have
Mason
some
is on the top
he
rank.
might have better technique than a lot of the fighters that Shakur fought. He definitely the dopest nigga. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
than any other nigga that Shakur fought on his record for his style, go being slick and stuff like that. Is having
Yeah.
swag, but yeah, like as far as he ain't got the experience. He ain't got the
Mm-mm.
time.
So
He ain't got the manpower yet. He's still growing. He ain't even reached his he ain't even got his crack yet. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he don't crack, but he ain't got his crack. He's
Yeah.
still growing his crack.
so
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 Yeah.
where was this when they made the Shakur and Floyd Schofield fight? Because you could say the same thing about Floyd Schofield, but he still got that fight.
no, I ain't saying
But
he don't deserve
but
no
but
fight. We talking about deserving the fight. We talking about
I'm
what can he do.
yeah, I was gonna
yes,
say we
But
talk about if
yes,
his best odds of winning against Shakur would be later on, is what
but
we saying, not right
no, no,
now.
no, no. But people thought that Floyd had a chance to beat Shakur Stevenson. Yes,
Not too many
right, yeah.
people.
yes. People thought he would have posed a threat. He was a live dog, but I think Abdul Mace would have posed even a bigger threat. Is what I'm getting at.
Schofield,
Uh,
If
I don't think
Schofield
so.
and Abdullah Mason fought right now, Abdullah Mason is probably sleeping in Schofield.
I want to see I want to see Abdullah get some talent. He on the
I want
top
to
rank. Like
I want to see
what I'm
Schofield
saying,
get some talent.
what I'm saying, he on the top, like in hey, Top Rank put on a hell of a show yesterday. But you know the routine. They give
Yeah,
him the journeyman. They give him the people that they're gonna beat for a very long time, and then that person has to be at that crossroads if they're gonna re-sign with Top Rank, and then if they do, they're gonna keep him looking good. And if they're like on the fence about it, they're gonna throw him in a fight they have no business being in, and then whatever happens, if that happens, and they throw him to the wolves.
I
But
I guess just
he
for
on that train.
I just guess for me, I would much rather see Abdullah Mason and Shakur fight, and then Gervonta and maybe Keyshawn Davis fight.
Why not just Javante Shakur, bro?
I just don't. I don't know, bro. I don't like the fight. I don't like the fight. I don't think it's gonna be as exciting. I mean, I think it's gonna be a chess match, but
No, that's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a great fight.
you think so?
Tank gonna
yeah,
make sure. Tank make sure of it. Tank ain't gonna have none of those kind of fights like we had this weekend. He more closer to Inoue. Even he more of a monster than
I
Inoue
think he
is
is
to me.
too. I think he is
But
too. It's just gonna be a
yeah,
especially
lot
in
of.
one that
Tank ain't gonna never have no dual fight. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it'll be on
right.
Tank. It wouldn't be on Tank's side though. It'd be more on Shakur.
Well, he's gonna force him that it ain't go. I think if both of them care too much about the perception of what this fight is supposed to be, that it's not gonna be boring, and they have the ability to care and actually do something about it. That's why I don't think it's gonna be
It
that boring.
actually can't be boring. I don't care
I don't think so either.
How much Shakur can move, or it's because Tank gonna cut the ring off. Tank gonna get there. He gonna do what he do. He gonna let his hands go. So it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
He gonna have to.
It's gonna be a fight. It's just about if it's gonna kind of go like the Roach fight. You know what I'm saying? I think that fight
I
kind of
think
goes.
so
I ain't
too.
about the
I think so
results. I'm
too.
just talking like how is like
I think it would look similar
up
to
and
that
down,
as well.
swinging for the fences. Ooh, somebody got hit. Oh, he dominated this round. It's gonna be back and forth. It ain't
I
gonna be
think so
no.
too.
It ain't gonna be no dull, boring fight at
I
all. You know what
just,
I'm saying?
I just think
I think
Shakur
so
going to
too.
sleep. That's all.
But
Respectfully.
Abdullah and Shakur, yeah, it's too
Respect.
late. That's
It's too
too
early.
soon.
It's
Too
too early
early.
for
Too
that one. It's too early for that one.
early.
I'm with GT on
Abdullah
that.
gotta wait. Abdullah has to wait for Shakur to get old, man. He has to wait for him to get old.
Yeah,
Shit, I don't know about that because Shakur
he needs to
probably,
wait for Shakur to get in a war.
bro. Shakur's hands ain't holding up, bro.
He don't need him to for that fight though. He just need to box for that
Ugh.
fight. He just need to keep him out there. He
Especially
just
right
need to,
now, if he was fighting right now, he would just box his ass in circles.
I don't know, y'all. We might have to revisit this conversation for sure. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I just
Yeah,
wonder
in
if it's controversial.
2027 when they make the fight.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Abdullah probably gonna be at 147 by then.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's why it won't happen.
Yeah,
That fight,
yeah,
fight ain't gonna happen.
yeah.
Abdullah too big, bro. It's gotta happen this year or next year, but it probably won't ever happen.
It
I would
ain't.
just like it. I would like the
If
fight.
that's the case, it ain't.
All right. Well, we got one more question for you, GT. We want you to build a fighter based off of IQ, hand speed, accuracy, power, defense, and footwork.
You say build a fighter?
You can include yourself too.
Oh, we talk about active fighters or all time.
Whatever your cup of tea is, whatever you want.
What
Yep.
what's the
Just
first? What's the first attribute?
IQ.
IQ, the way they think in the ring. Um, Now I'm gonna say this too. If I don't like a fighter outside the ring, I kind of exclude them
That's fair.
I know. Yeah, I
from my
know. I know.
favorite. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
for,
yeah.
for so for IQ, it would have been Floyd, but I don't like his ass no more.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forget for the shit he did. Dirty. He stole millions from me. So I can't. I ain't about to mention him in that light. So
Fuck them.
for IQ,
Facts.
it would be Andre Ward.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a real good one.
What's the next one?
Next one is hand speed.
Hand speed. Hector Camacho Jr. Hector Camacho Sr.
Mm. Okay. I like
Damn.
that.
Okay.
I like that too.
Okay.
That's
Accuracy.
shit.
Accuracy. Ooh, super accurate. Super accurate. I'm going with Shakur on that.
Mm.
That's what
Okay.
you get, Staples.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck you get.
Hey, I'll take that one. I'll take that one.
Okay. The next one is power.
Power. Julian Jackson.
Julian
I ain't hit.
Jackson.
I got to go back to the drawing board on that one.
Yeah, you gonna once you see it, you gonna agree like, oh shit,
Okay.
because he was more powerful than Triple G.
Damn.
Yeah.
Julian Jackson.
All right. And then we got
Shout out to his
defense.
son, Julius. That's my boy, Julius Jackson's son.
Okay, okay. Shout out Julius and Julian.
Defense.
The power that petrified everyone.
Defense. I would put homeboy right there, but hell nah. Pernell Whitaker.
Sweet P.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Yeah, RIP
man.
for sure. For sure.
Oh my
Shout out to
lord.
Sweet P. VA.
and then footwork.
Footwork. All right, y'all probably ain't gonna know this name for sure, but I'm gonna have to go back to amateurs. The Cubans couldn't go pro back in the day, but it was a fighter by the name of Mario Kindeline. Y'all gotta watch him.
Mario Kindeline.
Yeah, y'all know how Rico used to do certain moves in the ring that was kind of different, odd, unique, kind of hard to like off and stuff like that when he stomp his feet and go the other way. Yeah, Mario Kindeline. Shout out to him. I hope he's still alive. He won like 3 Olympics, 3 Pan. Me and him won a Pan Am together. He won like 3 Olympics, 3 Pan Am games.
Damn.
3 Goodwill games, 3 World Champ. He won everything. He was the other fighter I compared to Antonio Tarver.
Got it.
He was the best fighter ever in the history of sport, in my opinion. That's my favorite fighter of all time in the amateurs.
Damn.
In the world, Mario Kindeline. So go check him out. Go
Mario
watch some of his
Kindeline.
stuff. Yeah, go watch him. Oh my God, y'all
I'm definitely checking that out.
Boxing, a genius. Oh man, that boy was
Oh
cold.
man.
Mario Kindeline.
But
For
let
sure.
me give y'all another one though. Let me give y'all another pro footwork.
Hey,
though.
shout out to him.
All right.
Let me see who moves around the ring with good.
Arrow's up there for me.
Who you say?
Earl?
What?
Boost the niggas bid. Coming out of quarantine with money and no kids. Had to get